Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the post-episode issues, the Game of Thrones, Season 5, Episode 9, The Dance of the Dragons.
Oh, yeah, dance they did.
Yeah,
Disco.
they did dance. But right now, the thing that's mostly bothering me right now is, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it in the chat. I'm feeling it the world. The universal turnaround, the zip back and forth of Stannis. I want to by his little smug motherfucking neck. I want to echo what someone said in the chat. I'm not too pissed off at Melisandre. I expect this kind of shit out of her. I'm so surprised about Selyse. This show totally goosed me with that. I know I'm skipping over the fact that Dany rode around on a dragon and Drogon beat the shit out of a bunch of people. We'll get to that. But fuck Stannis right now. Seriously, fuck him.
Fuck that false ass king bitch.
You ain't the king of
no
nothing.
good in his god or
He is
him
no longer the one
anymore.
true king in my heart.
Oh,
He had me until tonight.
he lost my heart tonight, Joe.
Well, you know what?
Mama
You know
broke
what?
though.
With
Whoa.
this,
Broken. The wolf is broken, Joe.
Whoa.
I know, it's okay, sweetheart. But with
Whoa.
this episode tonight, if they hadn't have given us him fucking that Red Queen back in season 2 or 3 or whatever it was, where
And
my
then
heart was
macking on
originally
her.
kind of broken with TV Stannis, that this would have been so much harder for me to accept at the moment. Because they already kind of tainted his character a couple of seasons
Joe?
ago.
I'm angry! I'm so angry!
I am too, because that was just like he cheated on a cold ass wife that didn't
That was also very willing to burn her daughter in the name of fire.
up until
god.
she heard the screams of her daughter. If you're gonna do something like that, you have to be resolved. You cannot turn around.
Be
You
prepared for
can't
the
drag her to the
mother.
spigot and then
Mother,
drag her away.
save me.
But guys, before we get too far, here we are. But this is post-episode issues, Game of Thrones. Please, guys, we see you guys in the chat. You guys are going fucking crazy and awesome. Like, thank everybody for all the hard work you guys did over this last week. This was a really awesome week for us. Thank you guys so fucking much for that. And everybody, if you want to get your comment in and you're in the chat, and you want to make sure your comment gets said, you can email it to me at igotissuesman@gmail.com. You can tweet me at igotissuesman. I should get it. Or you can leave a voicemail, 781-990-8509, if you want to get your voicemail in, and we'll try to play it at the end of the show. Theoretically, things are set up to take calls, but I'm dubious of that. As we know, it kind of messed up last week, but it might be, technology may have caught up to us. Well, we haven't tested it out. We haven't beta tested it yet. But
if you call, we'll try, but it might fail.
Exactly. So guys, let's get right into this. But yeah, fuck Stannis. What the hell? I'm sorry to go back to that, but craziness. Should we talk about dragons for a second to make ourselves happy?
No, you know what?
I was
I'm
depressed.
just so sad. That was just. It was really like,
because I know we're going to talk about the scene when we get to it, but it was one of those television scenes where every other show that does a scene like that, Stannis would have stepped in at the last minute and saved her, or even Ramsay would have showed up with his 20 men to attack again right at that point to break up.
They actually burned this little girl. That was exactly. Ramsay would have shown up. Something would have happened that would have stopped her from burning, and Stannis would have been like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my little girl," or whatever.
I totally
but no.
didn't think they were going to burn her. I thought it was going to be like a big bloodletting.
No, of course you're going to burn her.
Because they need the blood.
No, you burn her like you did the wife's uncles and aunts and cousins and brothers on the beach.
Yeah, but that was because they were heretics. They were talking about needing this girl's blood to turn the tide.
I know, right? What kind of fucking kingdom do you want where you're willing? You are now the Mad King Targaryen. There is no difference between you and he. He burnt like other lords and their sons alive and killed all these people.
I'll take it on
your own fucking
family.
Guys,
one thing. Renly was one thing. I wasn't necessarily upset or thought that it was wrong for what he did with Renly. Yeah, kinslaying. Okay, everybody's gonna say that in the chat, and that's fine. But here's the thing: Renly raised an army to illegally seize what was rightfully Stannis's by the sweet talking pillow talk of his lover Loras Tyrell.
So assassination was justified.
Not necessarily assassination was justified because of that. Assassination of Renly was justified because it would have gotten thousands of people killed on the battlefield because Renly was doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, but there was never any discussion.
Now I want to hit
meeting of the minds.
No, you don't. He's king. He doesn't
brothers.
need to. Yes, they did. meet. They did discuss it,
Once.
and Renly was like, "Go fuck yourself."
Once.
And
Yeah,
Stannis
and
was
he's
like,
under
"No,
the
you go fuck
influence
yourself."
of Lancelot there.
Right. Pussy rules all, and Loris's ass pussy was beautiful to Stanley.
So let's
Renly,
jump in
whatever the fuck his name is.
Let's jump in the chat here quick. Esfante says, an interview with Dan and Dave after the episode, HBO has the feature that said George R. R. Martin talked about Stannis and Mel burning her, so that must be coming in the books. Just a quick thought about the books. Stannis is the serial kinslayer, as Renly was shitty.
Hell, he is, absolutely.
Very much so.
But what I was going to say, Joe, when you went, what we're talking about the Targaryen Mad King, Stannis is worse than the Mad King. The Mad King wouldn't have burned his son.
I think maybe he just was right. I kind of feel like that too.
He was mad.
He had other sons.
True.
He was mad.
He would do anything to protect his family. But I'm just really pissed at Stannis right now. I can't lie. I'm emotional about it. I got emotional in that scene. It has me thinking irrational. I want to break things. I want to break. I want Brienne. I want Brienne and Ramsay to double team this motherfucker.
I'm sorry, I want to give a little shout out here to one of my other favorite YouTubers too, and I want to laugh in the face of Comic Book Girls Robot. Go fuck you, Stannis, one true king, you little fucking. I was with you, little robot guy, but nope.
He was close. He was so close.
Scout Dakota says Shireen was an innocent girl. There's no logic for this shit. Knife to the back of the fucking Stannis. Assassin said,
yeah, it's knife to the back of his fucking skull. Oh, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
He burned his little girl alive. His little girl who he swore his undevoted love to, not only like 4 episodes, undevoted, like divided, whatever. Undevoted is more like it now.
Christopher says, Stannis, the Captain Ahab of Game of Thrones. Vince says, for a while I sided with Stannis against Renly because it seemed like Renly was the arrogant, popular brother. Stannis was the more socially awkward one. But now I see Renly knew what Stannis really was. I've left said, did the Starks worship the old gods? Yes, they did. Bill says, I predict Davos takes the black now. I predict Davos is going to go fucking crazy when he hears about it.
He would be devastated.
He is going to be absolutely devastated. He's no longer going to be looking at Stannis like he is
the honorable man
that he has always talked about as. Yeah, this is in my opinion now the absolute justification of the end of Stannis, and should he and there's no way he succeed. Like I don't know what that fucking sick fuck is gonna do.
I want to see Oathkeeper fucking slice him in half. I want to see Brienne bring down the fucking pain on the fucking untrue bitch. Fuck this guy. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm angry. Let's get into this recap.
Now I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm very happy with that.
This is an emotional episode.
Oh yeah.
Everybody,
I was whimpering in a corner at the end.
She did. She never cries at shit. She never cries at shit. She never, ever, ever, ever cries at shit. I'm the crier. We watch TV. We watch movies. My fucking once the music starts playing, once they get that shit going in the dramatic scene, the tears start flowing. Once that violin or piano note hits, it always fucking happens to me. She sits there like a stone cold wolf, like blood dripping, like she loves it. Like she was crying this time. I almost cried. I welled up, but I didn't. The tears didn't actually fall.
Let's get back to the chat support group for a second here. Farcloud said Davos knew this was coming. Davos is going to turn against Stannis. Vince says Davos is going to turn against Stannis now. Now that I think about it, Davos was the only reason I like Stannis. Crystal says, I sincerely want the Red Witch to turn on Stannis. I think she will at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Bruce says Stannis is the reverse pedophile. I saw, I left, said, is Jon the prince that was promised? We're going to talk about that later in the episode. Steve, 5 and the Dude, says, I love how she was Dance with Dragons. Stannis says, why dance? It doesn't make any sense. Probably a dig on George R. R. Martin. Assassin. I believe at the end of the series, the red bitch will realize that Stannis is not the foretold king and she'll abandon him. Steve says Stannis needs to be flayed then burned while alive. Fuck that dude. I'm so pissed. A says that made me cry too. Loner Incognito says, yes, Stannis was the middle brother in the middle brother syndrome. Assassin says I cried as well. Sorry, I'm just hitting in the chat crazy right now because everyone's dealing with this emotionally right now. We're all feeling, and I think this episode fucking killed you at the end there with that. And again, I'll say it again. We'll talk about it. In any other show, you expect something's going to happen, but they lingered on the screams for a while of that little girl. They let you hear. They didn't show it.
Absolutely do. That's so. And it's
they lingered on the screams.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it.
Great.
Thank you.
What a horrible shit that Stannis did, but great fucking show. Amazingly shot scene. Let's talk about that for a second. I mean, we'll graze over this when we get to in the episode because we're spending so much attention on this now. I just feel like we have to talk about this. Oh, and yeah, by the way, like you said, at the end of this episode, Daenerys flew away on a dragon, which was a really cool scene. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it was fantastic. I gotta say,
it was really
That's
awesome.
The actual part that had me.
Let's start our recap, and we'll get back into the chat in a second. You guys in the chat room are going absolutely fucking nutsoid, and I love it. We have Brohawk Riley, one of the best streamers over there on Twitch TV. Brohawk Riley Couchmaster says holy fucking shit, that was an awesome episode, and absolutely Brohawk, great fucking work, great job by them transitioning some of this stuff to screen, as in with the Dragon Pit. And I knew that was coming, but seeing it all the same was still, I was going nuts in that moment. Great way to end the episode.
We can't know anything that's coming at this point.
No.
Because they keep diverging so far from where the book has taken us.
So
I'm always like they come back around, but I'm always wondering.
Yeah, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen, what is happening. It's anyone's guess.
They're two very different stories almost.
Assassin, I totally overlooked that blue screen. Same thing as last week. There was one moment where it looked like a green screen, and I'm totally forgiving that. It's a TV budget. And
I thought about so Never-Ending Story.
There wasn't
like Falcor scenes at the end. At one point.
No, see, I didn't. There may have been.
It was brief. It was very brief.
We'll talk about it when we get to it. So, with the episode opens up tonight on the camp, we see a camp in the snow. It's Stannis' camp, that fucking asshole. And we see Melisandre in her tent looking all concerned as she comes up, as we see the cold wind, and she turns around to see a tent going up in blazes as there's fire.
If I was a cat, I'd be hissing right now.
People are running around crazy. And we see a horse flaming on fire running through. It's pandemonium. The next day, Davos, being our narrator, telling us what just happened, says it was a band of 20 men or less. No one saw them, but they burnt all our food to the ground and our weapons. Stannis immediately asks about the horses, and Davos says they're still counting them. Stannis says, how did 20 men get into our camp without setting an alarm? Davos says the northern men know their land more than us. And Stannis goes all Robert De Niro in Casino and about the guy, the dumb dude that let the casino get ripped off, when he's like, either they were working with the enemy or they're just so dumb they don't deserve to
live. Right, exactly. And he's kind of right about that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. These are native northerners who have worked and everything else on this land for generations. They know every inch of it. So the best guerrilla warfare going on, doesn't matter how good your soldiers are. They're not built for that kind of fighting.
And they're not expecting fighting at this point. Nobody can move in this shit. They're not expecting a sabotage attack until now. Nothing has happened. It's been weeks that they've been on this march. There's no expectation of seeing any enemies or anything like that. And I can't imagine it's so hard to just fit in.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we just got back from pissing. Good to see you guys. And then you spread out and burn some fucking tents down. Like,
yeah, all these guys are frozen, starving, dehydrated, ill. And the 20 northern men, they know exactly how to move, exactly how to survive, how to thrive in this environment. It happens. These soldiers are used to battlefield battles, not sneaky assholes in the middle of the night.
Right.
Scout said, are we sure that Mel didn't magically start the fires to help? I totally had an Elmer Fudd move. To help push on Shireen's murder.
I are unsure of everything right now.
I think
I put nothing past her.
But I more see it as that she saw it as an extra sign from the Lord of Light that this is supposed to happen, that this was the last straw to push. She knew it would push Stannis in that direction.
Well, and whether it's manufactured by her or it's spontaneous, she chalks it all up to a sign from God.
Yep, exactly.
See, I was
All
wrong about
works for Melisandre.
my last prediction with the pendant. I say that straight.
Yeah,
out.
we'll get to
We
that.
got that answer.
We'll get to that when we get to
So
Dorne.
I'd be careful of taking like the super sneaky route with some of this shit, but I do like that. That does sound good to me.
Stacy says Stannis needs a lesson from Tyrion. Killing those devoted to you does not inspire devotion. Bad king syndrome.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
Tyrion's such a badass.
Correct.
Tyrion
And you
is
know
a
what?
badass.
That's a great foreshadow line that just kind of completely escaped all of us last week, in that he was talking loosely about Shireen and Stannis.
Yep.
Well, yeah, he was talking about people in power in general.
Yes.
Everyone has a certain code of ethics that they should follow as leaders.
Yes.
I can't. Steven says, piss on the Lord of Light. Bill says, the night is dark and full of assholes.
I
Yeah.
lift my leg on the Lord of Light.
Tom has an interesting question. I don't understand how Ramsay's men were able to set the whole fucking camp on fire. Hanging the guards was one good thing that Stannis did. At least that was pure incompetence.
It was damn, like I said, it was damn close to it. Like there's got to be some sort of way of like, no, you're not coming back from a piss. You can't just walk in. What's the password? You don't see them coming. Like the snow is so deep, they can't just be walking across a field or anything.
Even the
like that,
even the freaking Ink and Paint Club and Who Framed Roger Rabbit had a code word that you needed to get in the fucking door. You know, is Stannis running a fucking something like a Toon bar? He's not even as
pretty
much security as a Toon bar that some cartoon character villain named Ramsay gets to sprinkle gasoline everywhere and light a fire. I know it's not gasoline, whatever. So Davos is like, well, there's no food and no weapons. You know, maybe
close enough.
Maybe we should just go back to Castle Black. And Stannis is like, no, we're not going back. And I'm still on Stannis' side. I'm like, yeah, push on, Stannis.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm still on his side with we can't retreat. I'll be the king that runs. But instead he turned himself into I'm the king that kills I'm the king that burns
I'm the king that burns my daughter, basically. I'm the fucking asshole that burns my daughter. So Davos says, no disrespect. I never claimed to be no big city lawyer or nothing. But with no food and no siege weapons, we can't go forward and we can't go back. What's the fucking plan here, Stan the man? As we catch a view of Melisandre and Selyse in the corner, and Stannis looks over, and then Davos looks, and then we get an intense moment of dread of what's about to happen.
Especially once he sends Davis away, we know there's no doubt what's about to happen.
Yeah, Davos would never have allowed this to happen. He would have died trying to prevent it.
Because he's absolutely right. You know, yeah, sure, a message boy wouldn't be able to say no, but one of your other generals could certainly stand there and keep saying, you know, too bad, you need to send us something.
Yeah. Oh, Davos knew what was up. He was terrified of it, but he had to follow orders.
Jonathan says, guys, I've been a Stannis fan from the very beginning. I didn't think there was anything he could do to change that. I never thought I would say this, but fuck Stannis. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't either.
John,
He was
comment,
one of my favorite characters in the book, without a doubt. From the first sentence, even all the way up to like the last of what was in the books. Like I was, this completely like blows my mind. Not quite like the zombie attack of last week, but
yeah,
like,
I've been wary of him ever since the Shadow Baby incident with Melisandre.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb, like evil
and then
looking.
And then the burning of his in-laws, but they're still family.
Now and
then he tried to get it on with Melisandre again just recently.
Very true.
Which I was creeped out by.
Yep. Hey.
But I really thought his love for his daughter would override everything.
I did too.
I hoped.
Especially because like didn't he like kick her out of the room or something? Or, oh no, she just left. She's like, kill your daughter or you get no pussy.
Yeah, and he said no, that's never going to happen.
And it did happen. It didn't take too far to push him. This is something I want to put sort of a Jostress in and maybe talk in a book club episode after the season's over. But I wonder how this affects people's vision of Stannis going in, especially with what Dan and Dave said after the episode about this is something that they've talked to George R.R. Martin about. So this is something that's coming for Stannis in the future of the books. It's just one of those interesting things. I kind of just want to put a Jostress in and that we can talk about in a different episode. We can talk about that.
Yeah, he's a slightly different character in the
It
book.
shows you a different
That's
side of
so,
him. So as
yeah.
Stannis walks away towards
Ugh.
Melisandre, he says, "Have the horses butchered for meat," as they walk down. It's a great transition of Snow, of walking Snow, as you think it's Stannis, but it's actually Jon Snow.
Okay, I know you wanted to talk about it later, but you just
No, let's talk about
think,
it. I don't want to talk about book stuff right now.
No. Like, just like I would love for what to happen in the book is he doesn't do this. He stays honorable and meets another untimely death. Like, they could do that just as long as he's still dead. It doesn't matter, because then that leads to like the same kind. Like, if he dies either way, and after this point, it's all right if Shireen lived or didn't.
Yeah. He's spiritual.
There's a lot they could do. Like, it might not be like that big of a deal if he doesn't end up doing anything in the first place. You know, like sometimes armies just freeze in the middle of fucking nowhere. It does happen. It happened twice to armies invading Russia.
Oh, it happens all the time. Or they eat each other.
Like hell. Like shit. That could be a great fate for Stannis, the king who went mad and then froze.
Drink the far cloud.
Eats his wife and Melisandre, and then freezes to death.
Yep, far cloud shots. So we get that great transition of the Snow walking the snow as Jon Snow and the wildling groups and 1-1 are approaching the wall.
1-1! Is he the last giant?
He's the last one.
Curious.
So it's a big force, and we see Ed and Tormund and the kid in front as they look up, and Thorne looks down at them with disgust, and he hawks a loogie on them. He's like,
I saw that too.
Okay, I was shocked and disappointed.
He did. Yes,
he did not expect to see Jon Snow ever again,
alive,
much less with a whole bunch of people behind him.
Well, it kind of proves everybody wrong about the wildlings. Like, they are willing.
Yeah.
They are just kind of fucking people.
Yep. And
I think he has a grudging respect for Jon Snow, especially at this point. He doesn't like him, but he has a respect for him.
He actually called him Jon Snow tonight, which was interesting.
Yep.
So he looks at everyone and he steps up and gives the sign to open the door, and it's tense music, a lot of eye fucking as Thorne opens the gate, and we focus for a second on some slimy asshole guard. As Jon is relieved that they're actually letting them in. Jon seems a little bit surprised that it was that easy. Now, Jon's talking to Sam as we cut over to Jon talking to Sam, and Jon says it was a failure, and Sam says, no, it wasn't a failure. And he goes, so many people died, and I was supposed to save them. And then Sam starts going, well, that person didn't die. Well, that person, well, they're only alive because of you. And Jon turns to him and says, deadpan, they know that. That fact isn't lost on them. That's the only reason that they're supporting.
Well, they all would have been wiped out if not for those ships.
And
holy crap.
All the Night's Watch people are so pissed off watching this as 1-1 enters the house, and all the men in the Night's Watch are like freaking the fuck out. And it's a great visual of him walking past Jon and Sam and looking down on him like, holy shit. It's just it's a really awesome visual.
They did giant great. They did amazing giant work.
And it's just
I want more.
It's interesting to think that giant's walking through that tunnel that his king got killed in. I wonder if the giant was considering that and thinking that as he's walking through the door.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure.
And
this is difficult for everyone.
They're all thinking that. Everybody on both sides is exactly thinking that. I think that not only are they thinking that, but they're also all the wildlings as they're walking through. They're not thinking they're triumphant or anything like that. They're thinking like, what they must owe to the crows for opening the gates at this point. Especially after what they just saw, they would all be fucking dead.
I think they're thinking of that along with surveying the territory and figuring out how to kill and escape. In case.
Yes.
Before we go past it, I also want to say very small, and a couple of people are saying in the chat too. Lady Squeeze says that. A couple of other people I saw pass by. Sam, in that very small moment, was so awesome. Jon, he's so essential to Jon's sanity, and just I love Sam. Not that I don't like when he has longer scenes when we get into his love stuff, but I really like Sam in this sort of context.
Yeah, he's really he's stepping into Maester Aemon's shoes.
Exactly.
Very much so. He learned some good lessons from that dude.
Yes, he did.
And he took them to heart, and I love him.
So Sam also knows when to run away because he doesn't want to deal with Thorne. As Thorne comes over to Jon and Sam scoots away. And Thorne says, you got a good heart. And this was the interesting thing. This is probably the biggest compliment Thorne ever gave him. He goes, you have a good heart, Jon Snow, but it's going to get us all killed.
Maybe, but what a way to die.
Jon should... And someone said it in the chat. I'm not sure who said it. I saw it pass by. Why isn't Ed, like the minute Ed walks in there, goes, guys, you don't know what the fuck we just saw, and starts like trying to preach the word of Jon Snow right now. Winter is here, guys. Shh. He's not kidding about this.
Yeah, I think they're all still in shock.
Yeah,
all of them through that whole trek, they're just still in shock.
Yeah, they are.
Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck did we just say?
Who wouldn't be, right?
So I also want to mention that Jon did smile at Ollie, but Ollie ran away. And so as we get Thorne walking away for a second, we get him grumbling to get out of my way, wildling. Get out of my way, wolf.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
So, okay, let's cut back to Stannis. And I believe that's all the wall we have for the night. So we'll leave. We're gonna leave.
It is, yeah.
We're gonna
show them going through, and that's it.
Exactly. We're gonna leave the wall there. Hopefully, we'll get back to it next week. We'll see. So we cut back to Stannis in the tent, looking at flayed men's pieces on a map, looking down. Davos comes in and says, "You sent for me." And there's a lot of talking going on in this scene, but ultimately, it's all about him needing to send Davos away because he knows that Davos can't be here while this is happening, because he would, as many people in the chat have already said tonight, Davos would lay his own head in the line. He would jump in that fire and rip that girl out.
Absolutely.
He would have died. He would have died trying.
Absolutely. Yeah, he would have died or killed a bunch of people and then died. He would never have let that happen.
Never. Fucking never.
And he was living on his hope that Stannis was the father that he portrayed himself to be. The king, the man. Absolutely. Because he was terrified and he was living on that hope.
Yes.
Just to go back a little bit from a few episodes back when we got the scene with Stannis and Meereen, the bonding scene a few episodes back, it's just that's so evil of them. Just to go back and make how things in the past can become better when the future things happen. The fact that they did that to us and put us on that emotional ride, fuck you guys in the best possible way, Dan and Dave, because that is excellent right there. That's totally fucking with me, and I see why you
jerk my fucking chain along.
Way to emotionally wreck me and make me totally be at an all-time Stannis love fest. If you listen to earlier podcasts of the season, as I'm like, being like, I've fallen in love with Stannis, he's the best, to this point right here. Fuck you in the best possible way.
Yeah, they're breaking hearts globally.
Just look at the flowers, Shireen. Just look at the little flowers.
Look at the flowers, Shireen. Look at the flowers. No. Did someone say no? I didn't say something about the wall. No, the wall is not boring. There's so much more to talk about this episode. So I have a feeling we might get into more wall action next week.
Who is that? That's I came, I saw, I left. The wall is fantastic.
Yeah,
Meereen has been kind of boring in my mind. It got a little bit more exciting this season than like any of Dany's stuff has gotten more exciting this season, but.
Well, the thing about the wall, they seem to keep them short and profound, the scenes at the wall sometimes, like stark and simple.
No pun intended.
Profound in that. So it gets to the point kind of at the wall.
So Davos comes in, he says, you sent for me. Stannis says, yeah, take a few horses. I'm sending you back to Castle Black. He tells Davos. Stannis says, go get me food and tell Jon Snow if he does that when I'm king, I'll hook the Night's Watch up. But I just want you to go so I can kill Shireen. He says, Jon Snow can protect all 19 castles of the Night's Watch if he wants on the wall. Davos says, I'm your hand. I can't abandon you. A monkey could deliver this message. And Stannis says, what if he refuses? A monkey won't know what to say. So you need to do the job. Stannis says, you're getting an order. Bring me back what I want now. So fuck off. Get out. He gives him the order. Fuck off. Get out of here.
The thing is true. That's a valid point because Davos kind of connected with Jon Snow.
Absolutely.
So it's not like sending any authority figure or any messenger.
But Davos smells the shit here. Yes. And Davos says, okay, I agree with you. So excuse me, why doesn't the queen and the princess come with me? That's a smart idea.
I thought the queen.
it's-
I thought he said just the princess.
No, he said both. And then Stannis says, my family comes with me. And then Davos says, no, let me at least take Shireen. The war's no place for her. And then Stannis says, no, we're here and I'm staying with my fucking family.
Well, I'm still with him in the fact that the wall is no place for her as also.
Sure. Well, yeah. Now, especially.
Joe, I'm going to jump on you a little bit here, Joe. I agree with what you're saying, Joe. I agree with you what you're saying, but Stannis isn't thinking that way. Stannis is using the right decision, but doing it for the wrong reason. He's doing it for his purposes because he wants to get Davos out of the
It makes you wonder if that wasn't his reason for taking her along all along.
Yeah, he was struggling with that and not so hard set on I love my daughter. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta think like that in the sense that he might have initially wanted to never do that and he believed what he was saying, but it was more one of those things where you're convincing yourself. And this whole time he knew that ultimately I believe in the Red Witch. And we're gonna get to the Red Witch stuff because we have a question from Alexia that deals with that we'll get to in our voicemail section at the end.
Yeah, it's like a part of Stannis just accepted that was inevitable. But outwardly, he's saying, no, 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 no. But sure, come along just in case.
And so we're here. So we cut out with Davos and we hear men coughing and sick men. We see men lining up in line, all trying to eat as Davos walks up. And we get, come on. And we go into a room that is with Shireen. She's reading a book. He goes, what book are you reading? She's reading Dance of the Dragons by Grandmaster Munkin.
Hey, I read that.
Yeah, me too. He said, or I listened to it on tape.
It's a little different in Westeros.
Yeah, it's a different book.
Slightly different story. Same idea.
Somewhat. So it's more similar to something as we get into a scene later when Shireen's talking about it, about how Stannis can relate to it because of the story of two siblings fighting.
So sad. Meereen was such a sweet and intelligent girl.
That's why she had to die.
It's yeah. As far as evil-minded individuals are concerned, must crush sweetness.
Should have sent her to Meereen Trent's camp for a week.
Crystal asks, so Shireen was the last Baratheon, so why does he even want the throne? Maybe he thinks he can find another. He can have another child. He's probably hoping he can do that.
Yeah,
and he had the shadow baby. Maybe he thinks he can have another real baby too.
Well, they kind of kept Shireen in hiding for a long time, so I don't think he's banking on Shireen ever taking the throne.
Very true.
If he ever wins it.
Bill has a question. Who would you rather kill right now, Ramsay or Stannis? Stannis is number one on my shit list right now. Number fucking one on my shit list.
Yeah, Stannis killed Shireen.
I just want to say
Ramsay's
something.
awful, but he's just generally awful.
Yeah, I just want to say something that, Stannis at this point, went more than anything, not even just killing Shireen, making me root for Selyse in a scene.
Yes.
Oh
my goodness.
Right?
Oh
Fuck
my
you.
goodness.
You motherfucking motherfucker.
Oh.
That's why I'm angry.
We'll take care of Ramsay later. Fucking Stannis must go first now.
Oh, I was hoping that wifey there would make it to the fire and at least throw herself on it with Shireen.
Apulia says, I miss Joffrey. After all, I miss Joffrey too.
Oh.
He was such an innocent
They do terrible things to us. This show does terrible things to our brains.
Like making us miss Joffrey.
Wow. Yes.
So he sits down and he talks to her about a book and about the book that she's reading, and she gets and she talks about the end of the book and a couple things that happens. But anyways, he gives her a toy over her sigil, and she kisses him and says, "Why'd you make me? Will you make me a doe too? Why do I get a gift?" And he says, "You deserve it. My son kept on me to read, but I never thought I'd do it. I got so far in life, so I kind of just said, fuck it. But you pushed me, and I want to thank you for making me a grown-up." It's just such a loving scene. She's so smiling. And again, damn you, Game of Thrones, for emotionally investing me so much in this little girl this season, that I even more so this season, and just showing, as Katie said earlier, how bright and how we talked about this a lot a couple episodes ago, how she has the personality of Renly in a lot of ways, that charming personality. And anyone in Stannis' life that has that charming personality, I guess he has to snuff out because he's the fucking because he has the middle child syndrome. He wants to kill his baby and kill his fucking younger brother.
You knew when Davos had that deep, personal, intimate conversation with this little girl about their bond and what she meant to him. That was the end of her.
Yep. I gotta say too, way to go, Game of Thrones! All the kids that you have cast. Usually,
wow,
people get the casting agents and they get so wrong, so poor. Like, oh, this kid's cute. Doesn't matter if he can't act a fucking lick. Doesn't matter any of that. Or this kid's that person's kid or son. And that may or may not have happened in Game of Thrones, and I don't know about it. But for the most part, all of these kids you've chosen are very good actors.
Amazing.
Yep.
Oh, no, someone said we need a Joe rant. Oh, well, we're getting the Dorn. Don't worry, guys. We're getting the Dorn. So he wanted to thank you for making him a grown-up. I'll be gone for a few days, and let me know how to do the dragon's guts when I get back. She says, read it yourself, as she smiles, looks at her toys. It's so fucking sweet. And as Ren Renwood said in the comment section, you're making me cry again. Just thinking about it starting to make me fucking cry again.
Oh, yeah.
So
motherfucker.
I was hoping Davos would just snatch her.
Yeah.
Take her with you.
Take her with you.
Fuck
You've
what
done
Daddy said. You know what's coming.
You know what I'm going to do,
guys?
Guys, I'm going to watch the episode again later, and hopefully something different will happen the next time.
Yes,
I hear that happens occasionally.
Do
Game of
it.
Thrones changes.
It does. It's like a choose your own adventure book. I was playing it the other day. I was playing that game. So we cut to Dorne, and we get that shot of Jaime that we saw in the first trailer that we've been waiting for all season. No, it's the overhead shot, that cool, kind of a cool visual into a room. And I have to say, again, the Dorne stuff didn't bother me too much. I like all the stuff with Doran, and I like some of the stuff we got with the Sand Snakes in the prison cell. The only thing I'll say about it is because there was so much other stuff. I was so invested in what was going on with the other two storylines. At times during it, I felt like I wasn't quite as emotionally invested in what was going on there, quite as much as what was going on in some other places. That's not to say it wasn't done well, but I thought Dr. Bashir Doran was freaking awesome in these scenes.
Yeah, very much so.
Good to see him dig in a little bit.
Yes.
Good to see Ilaria start to wake up to the facts of the situation towards the end of the scene. And I thought all the stuff with Doran was really good. I guess I even enjoyed
the little girls.
Yeah,
the little girls.
They're getting better, and they're getting better. They all hate each other too. You can see it. Like, they're only together right now because of fucking like the tragedy in their life.
Yeah,
I mean, they're getting better, but it's like when you eat at a bad restaurant, but you keep going back, and you're like, it's not getting better. I still don't think they're good, and I still don't think it matches with the level of with everything else that's going on in other places, of the level of the acting and the scene and the investment you have in
right.
Yes,
it just feels like you're going into a different universe slightly.
Doran, Bronn, and Jaime are basically keeping it all alive.
Absolutely.
And big axe guy.
Hoto, Ariel Hoto. Hota.
I'm curious about Myrcella too.
Someone said it in the chat too. Ilaria was better in this episode. She was.
That's because she kissed the fucking ring, bitch.
She did, because she went off in some of that dumbassery, Joe, again about how Jaime's to blame in that first scene. So we get into this room with Doran, who's saying, "Sorry, Jaime, we started without you." And Princess Myrcella is there along with Ilaria Sand, and who's giving Jaime the eye fuck. And he greets Myrcella. "Hi, Uncle Jaime." Hi.
She's not just there, but she's there with her shoulders exposed and a little skinny strapless
sundress,
spaghetti strap dress.
It's a maxi sundress.
Yeah, it's a maxi, all right.
The scholar says Doran should be way more badass than this. Doran should be a lethal player, all for the Dornish master plan. ...
Yes and no.
He understands war.
In
understanding war, you avoid it at all costs until you can't.
And I will also say that I think we saw, and I pointed it out a couple of times, and we're going to get to it, we saw a little bit of the real Doran a couple times tonight. I think he knows how to offer, to show one thing to some people and have a complete other thing going on in his head. And and you saw that a little bit tonight with when he was looking at Ilaria, just giving her, "Shut up, shut up. You don't think I have something in mind? Shut up."
No. Phil, I'm sorry. I want to say this. Fuck Prince Doran. I hate him. I can't stand him. He's an awful character. I think you guys are going to be on board with me too when I get to my point here. If you like him too much, they'll kill him.
Okay. Very true. Very
he
true.
sucks.
Good point. Good point.
He's so boring.
I hate how
Genius.
I hate how he's the only person that gets the Dornish accent, except for the Red Viper. I hate that so much, dude.
He needs to rough it up some.
He needs to watch the Sand Snake. He needs to watch the Sand Snake scenes and see how it's done. But I do
learn from the three daughters.
But I do think I do have to say about them in the prison scene, as it still was silly a little bit. I like them more. I wish they were introduced like this a little bit more. It would have cushioned the blow of whatever. Tyenne's pretty damn cute. I like her, and we got to learn a little bit more about Nymeria today in this episode too. And
and their relationship with each other.
Bruce Szymanski, yes, sand snakes are silly little bitches. I agree.
So Tristan's there too, and Hoto's there. Jamie says it's a lovely dress and says, but tries to be a father for a second. Goes, you must be cold in that. She goes, the climate agrees with me. Then he jokes to Tristan.
Yeah, he was calling her a slut.
Yeah,
calling her a slut. Absolutely, a little bit of his hate for Cersei was coming out there. And and he goes to Tristan, how's your face? And Tristan's like, oh, just a flea bite. And Ilaria's like. Ilaria gets in his face. Is like, what the fuck are you doing in Dorne? And Jamie's like, I'm here to look after Myrcella and the safety of my niece. So Doran says, now, instead of sending a raven or a message, you come here under secret. What the hell's going on? I thought Joe's going to be right here in a second. And Jamie says, we got a message. It was a threat. And Ilaria looks really uncomfortable right away. So immediately I was like, oh shit, she sent it. As Marcella says, the necklace was stolen from my room. Too bad. We all thought, or we wanted.
I was so hoping I was right. I was so hoping that it was. As soon as he said it, I was like, "Oh please, oh please, oh please!" And she said that was stolen. I was like, "Fuck!" I hoped she was like, "What? This one?" Like, and had it on or some shit. That would have been.
Yeah.
I would have felt so happy about all my years at the University of Television.
Joe, Bill says, guys. I love the sand snakes most of all. They're all awesome.
Yes, sorry, absolutely, Bill. They are so sexy and hot and dynamic and deep.
Amazing characters. Such depth. I hope they never die.
I like the only thing I really liked in this episode about them was the feeling of being children. They definitely had a feeling of being children, and I like that. So Jamie says. So is this my last meal before my beheading? And Doran says, I can't. I don't want to wage war. I've seen many of my people. Excuse you guys, Kate, Wolf. Wow. Just for the record, that was the wolf.
I ate a crow earlier. Sorry.
Oh no.
So she says, Doran says, many of my people want war, but I've seen bloody bodies. I've seen the orphans. I don't want to lead my people down that road. And this is where Ilaria turns around and goes, well, what do you want to do? You want to just be a coward and break bread with Lannisters? And Doran gives her this look like, yeah, fuck you. That's right. That's what we're doing. We're breaking bed with the Lannisters. Shut up and let me deal with I have a plan here. Shut up.
They didn't kill your fucking lover, dude. Oh my God, just fucking kill her. There's no reason to keep her alive. There's zero reason. She has done nothing but try to undermine you, start a fucking war. You believe in second chances. No, like this shit's on the fucking line.
Joe, I think she's right. The Lannisters are to blame for that crap.
No, and they could have killed Trystane. They didn't. They absolutely, her nephew there, or her lover's nephew, not hers, but whatever. Her lover's nephew there could be dead, not dead.
Oh, God. Just knife her to the back of the fucking skull. Be done with her. I'm done with her. I like.
Well,
she could have made
a turnaround tonight.
She
was
didn't.
Emotional.
She didn't.
She knelt and she cried.
Yeah, because she was gonna die otherwise. That's like kiss my ring or die. That was her choice. That's not like, oh, I'm doing it out of fealty. That was, I'm doing it out of fealty to life, not to you.
I don't think it's
justified, Joe.
She wants to die to be with her true love.
No.
But she knows that this dude was right the whole time, and she's been crazy.
No Valhalla for her.
Oh, gosh. I also, you said Valhalla, so I want to say it. Eric Nolan, one of our listeners that was on the last episode of Hard Home, just got his call. For anyone that's interested or watching that show, he will who is in Viking season 3, who will also be in Viking season 4. So I'd like to big congratulations to Eric. Doing very, very well. And you can check out his stuff. He's also a really awesome singer, so you can check out his SoundCloud and all that kind of stuff. You can share it in the comment section. Really awesome dude. So congratulations for all the stuff. Thanks for keeping me posted. Got to get you on the show one of these times for breakdown, and you can tell me what's going on within contractual obligations and all that sort of stuff. Love to hear.
Celebrity interview.
Oh my God, that girl needs to die. Fucking, I don't get it.
What? Who?
I don't get it.
What? Who?
Prince Doran, just fucking offer. Have that big dude with the pole axe chop her fucking head off.
So I've got this plan calculated. Come on. So then he proposes a toast to King Tommen, and proposes the toast. And Ilaria, she pours out the drink in spite.
Kill her.
Yep.
Kill her.
Right there.
That was her second chance. That was it right there. I mean, I'm like, that is so fucking rude. That is so. Who's gonna clean that up? The poor bastard that's gonna come in and fucking get on his hands and knees.
This is where Cersei is. Can you call Cersei down? Could that be her punishment?
She'll slip all that shit up real quick. You thought this girl's really looking for some. The Dornish sour is her favorite, you know. Ah, she fucked up.
Scout Dakota says Tommen dies of what? Blue balls?
Yeah.
See,
pretty much. Tommen's locked himself in his room from we haven't heard from him.
Tommen desperately needs someone to help him.
Like Tyrion, maybe?
And yes, someone Tyrion or his sister or someone.
Kevin, maybe.
Sure. I don't know if Kevin is a great guy.
We'll see. Well, hopefully we'll catch up with Kevin next week.
He's very nurturing and understanding.
So Doran says Jamie said Doran says King Tommen insists on Marcella returning home, and she'll go home with you, Jamie. But my son's going to go too to help bridge the alliance and keep the alliance going. Dorne and the Iron Throne, and remember the Red Viper, my brother. He sat in the small council, and Kristen, with his horrible accent, will sit on the small council as well, and be making us constantly forgetting and remembering the Game of Thrones. The Red Viper's gone. So, but it's a really awesome,
and it's what Tommen
awesome
needs.
play.
He needs his sister.
Absolutely.
If anyone at this point can help him out of his mire of misery and self-loathing and just innocence lost, his sister, hopefully.
And one of the things too is the prince here, Prince Doran, the Martells have always kind of had pipeline right to the Iron Throne. They've always been marrying. Because of how they were kind of conquered, they weren't conquered, the unbent, unbroken, unbowed, or whatever, bowed. They are able to retain their prince titles, never king, their princess titles, never queen. And very often they were the ones chosen to marry princes of the Targaryen family and family members. Yeah. So they were always, so when the Roberts Rebellion happened, that was it. They were 100% on the side of the Targaryens.
You try to take a call?
Let's see if we can take that call.
Oh no, it went to voicemail, so we'll have a voicemail. If anybody wants to try again, if you want to try again, we could try to get the call and see if it works. Sorry to interrupt you there, Joe. But I agree with you, and that's part of why Doran knows the way to get in there is through marriage and through probing and through that way. He's smart to keep his son there, put his son in that situation. Now, Jamie says that he will have a place in the small council. You have my word. Ilaria says the word of a kingslayer. Then she says, then she gets into Doran's face and says, "You can't stand because you have no spine." As he grabs her hand and says, "Listen to me. You're the mother of my nieces that I love, and for their sake, I hope you live long and prosper." Sorry, but if you talk to me again like that, you will not. As Jamie kind of waits a pregnant pause, and he says, "Okay, here we go. Let's try before we talk about Jamie. Let's see if this works." Hello, you're on the air with the Issues program. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Welcome to the show.
We can hear you too.
Can you hear Joe?
This is Jay.
Hey, Jay. How's it going?
I'm the guy I called last week. You didn't know who it was.
Oh, welcome, Jay.
Hey, sure, like, save Danny. That was cool and everything. But you guys noticed that he actually touched her with his hand, and I'm not sure not if it was the effective grayscale arm hand.
I noticed that too. That tied into my questions about grayscale.
Thank you so much for the call. Absolutely. I did notice that, and it really bothered me a couple of times because a lot of people have been talking about skin-to-skin contact. He was sweating all over the place, and in that
fucking bombed her.
That's why I think last week I was asking, and I'm very curious still. How exactly is this transmitted? Do you have to touch the actual grayscale patch?
He went in and he fucking poisoned that bitch.
Awful.
Yeah, like if he sweats all over himself and then touches someone,
Did we just take a live caller, Phil?
Yes, thank you so much for the call, Jay. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. And
one more question. What's up, Jay?
How come the stuffed wolf has changed from a stuffed crow? I kind of miss the stuffed crow, and I would actually like to see who the heck is the voice behind the crow on camera one day.
Thank you very much, Jay. We'll talk to you soon. We'll answer your question. So Jay,
you can find pictures of Katie Crow.
You can find picture of Katie Crow, and I do have to say, on one of our earlier reviews, I was watching some of the earlier Game of Thrones reviews. There is one early review. I'm not going to tell you what episode that she walks by the camera. So if you want to see Katie, you can see if you find her.
Is that our first contest, Phil?
Maybe, possibly. So as for when the crow will be back, the crow will be back. Katie can warg into many different animals, so I'm sure.
I'm in training.
I'm sure the crow will make a return at some point, possibly in the season finale next week, guys. So awesome! We just took a live caller.
Another live caller.
Oh, we taking another live caller? Let's take another live caller. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How's it going, man? Who's this?
This is Heath from Mississippi. Love your show, guys.
Thank you so much.
I got a question for you. Actually, it's kind of a two-pronged question.
Go for it.
Number one, do you think maybe they'll make up for killing Stannis' daughter? Do you think what Ramsay did and obviously what Stannis had to do you think that maybe the Lord of Light is going to free them up to where they can take Winterfell now? And number two, if what's his name brings his daughter back to I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
Oh, don't worry about it, dude.
Okay.
It's if Jaime Lannister brings his daughter back with the prince, and they find out that Cersei is kind of in jail, everything is going the way of the world as it is.
Yeah.
Do you think that the Dorne plan, do you think it could get accelerated at that point because of all of the turmoil in,
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just asking.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much for the call.
Thanks, guys. I'll hang up my
you.
I appreciate it, guys.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for calling, dude. Really, really fucking appreciate it. So a couple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great
with that kind, if there is a Dornish master plan, it definitely becomes accelerated. The Dornish master plan is to get back to the Iron Throne, to get back into the seats of power of Westeros. Unfortunately, most of the time they're selling their or marrying their daughters off. But
there's
even
no one
still,
in power right
it
now.
happens. It comes with trade. It comes with money. It comes with power, decision making.
And the first part of your question, it goes into something that Alexia asked in one of our voicemails, and we'll get to that a little bit later about what. But to answer your question directly, I have a feeling that the biggest punishment for Stannis in this situation is for him to take Winterfell, but then he'll be stuck alone and have to deal with that he caught, that always be horrified by what he had to pay for to get his prize here of taking Winterfell in the situation.
But I like judging from the scenes from Next too. Oh, it looks like he gets a positive turn, but karma has a way of turning back on you in a big dramatic showing of how awful you are.
But holy shit, guys, we took some live calls. We'd like to thank you guys so much for your live calls.
Phil,
I guess it works. So
why don't you give them the number now again?
Okay, the number is 781-990-8509 if anybody else wants to call. And starting next week, I'll have Skype hooked up too for any international people that might want to call. So anyway, So let's continue on the recap here. So he grabs her and he says, listen, you say that one more time and you're dead. So Jaime jokes after a few seconds. So what about Bronn? What's gonna happen? And
what is gonna happen to Bronn?
And Doran says, "Listen, up in King's Landing, what happens if a common man slaps a royal man?" And Jaime's like, "I know exactly what happens."
Cake and ice cream and send them on their way.
The hound beats down the butcher's boy is what happens. And
the poor butcher's boy.
Yeah,
and sorry to bring that up. And Jaime jokes, I thought it was only a flea bite. It was no problem. And Doran looks at him like, "You're not funny, Jaime Lannister." And Jaime says, "Listen, it's my fault. I'm the one that gave the order. I'm the one to blame because he's an honorable man." And Doran says, "Listen, I'm going to put Tristan in charge and put him in power. And Tristan says, I've learned mercy from my father, and I will set your man free on one condition." Cut to the Sand Snake in the jail cell with Bronn and Nymeria.
What has to happen?
What evil fate can possibly be bestowed
speculation.
upon
Go
Has to act in another scene with the Sand Snakes. Is that the horrible crime?
I kind of liked this scene. It reminded me of so many scenes with my older brother.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The competitive, I hate you, but I have to love you sibling relationship.
Like, yeah, I may have escaped you this once, but like, my only hope is to slap you across the face and run.
Yeah, and cling to these small victories because they are few and far between.
Yeah, the slap battle has been won, but then, I get my ass kicked 5 seconds later, which was about to happen to her, too.
We love our siblings.
Red bitch.
By the way.
Red witch. Try red bitch, as someone said in the chat. Oh, fucking red bitch. You guys in the chat, by the way, went so crazy last week, and like to thank everyone for all the chats and all those sharing and all the likes. Everybody,
you make the show
so fucking much.
You make the fun.
You guys,
your show is ours.
It is.
Well, Phil and Joe are okay too.
Yeah, we're all right.
You're not so bad yourself.
Okay, so let's get back to Nymeria and Tyene. So Nymeria and Tyene are playing a game, and the slap game, and Tyene's getting pissed because Nymeria always wins. It's humiliation.
Yep.
It's that pain that's always gonna hurt. You gonna cry, little sis? You gonna cry?
Big sibling rubs it in.
Tyene's like, you'll miss, and then she gets in her head, gets inside Nymeria's head for a second, and Nymeria misses. So Tyene's like, now it's my turn, and she just smacks the shit out of her. I love it.
I love that scene.
She just smacks the shit out of her. And then it's about to be a full-on fight. They're gonna get it on, and they don't even show Obara in the scene at all. Is she sleeping or something?
They show it like for a second of the scene. I think.
Yeah, she's laying down on the bench, and right at the end, I think she calls her a slut. She's like, "You fucking." Like when Bronn's leaving, and
most
she's like,
girl
what is it you want to say to me before you leave? And you're the most beautiful woman in the world. As he walks out, all like sulking face, and Obara laying on the cot, on the stone slab, on the metal slab, whatever it is, says,
Slut. Was she the one that said slut? Let's get a couple of chat in the chat here. Paul says topless slap fight would have been a much better way of handling that. Stacy says no one's mentioned how tight Jon's butthole must have been waiting for that gate to be open at the wall. Yeah, fucking A.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't thinking specifically of his butthole, though.
Oh, come on. Sure you are. So
it tells a story, yes.
His butthole tells us, Jon Snow's butthole tells a story. So Tyene turns, smack the shit out of her. Ariel Hotar shows up right before to stop our topless slap fight that doesn't happen. And Bronn immediately.
I thought it did. I saw a topless slap fight.
Yeah, in my imagination.
Yeah. In my hindsight, it's a topless slap fight.
Yeah.
I love how Bronn says, "Am I going to be happy at the end of this walk? Could you tell me right now if I'm going to be happy at the end of this walk?"
Well,
yes and no.
You'll have to wait and find out.
But it's funny thinking that in the sense that Hotar probably already knows that he's gonna hit him. He's gonna break his jaw.
Excited.
So he's like,
excited.
Yeah, we'll have to say, I'm not gonna kill you, but I am gonna freaking break your fucking jaw.
Flexing. He is getting his arm ready for that.
Oh yeah. He's been sitting around a fucking gout-ridden prince, get my guy for wine. Go fetch this one, fetch that. Like, no, this guy's ready to hit anybody he can as often as he can. He wants to hit Bronn so fucking hard. And I was actually surprised that you just gave him a little like, really, this is what you want me. You want get off your fucking ass, you fucking sweet little pussyfoot fucking prince, and punch him yourself. It's your fucking justice. He hit you, you hit him. What's he gonna do? He's gonna say, "Oh, thank you," you know, whatever. Like, big fucking deal. Do it yourself. Don't be a fucking pussy and have this guy do it for you.
Wow.
Fucking
it was a job.
I hope Marcella doesn't marry. Marcella doesn't deserve this fucking wussy. Do it your fucking self, like the fucking North, you fucking pansy.
Yeah, don't be a Joffrey. Don't be a Joffrey.
You're a fucking Joffrey. That's exactly what he is. He's a fucking pansy. He can't do it himself. He couldn't protect her in the courtyard from a fucking cripple and a sellsword. Go take some fucking lessons from Hotep, you fucking fag.
Hey.
Not that. I don't mean. I'm sorry.
Why are you gonna get on piles of sticks?
Hey,
Come
dude.
on.
Yeah, because he needs to be burned like Shireen.
Bound bundles of sticks.
And that's what I meant.
Very valuable.
That's what I
So
meant.
guys,
I swear to God, that's what I meant.
We're
I swear to God, that's what I meant. Oh,
I'm
no.
scared.
So Walter.
Shireen was burned on one of those.
Give me the hate chat now. I'm so sorry.
So Walter White says, we got Heisenberg in the chat room who says, I'm impressed with the Stannis, the Lord of Light, sacrifices one of his daughter for the greater good. He's a big picture guy. Walter White likes that sort of shit. So send your hate to Joe. Joe's views do not reflect those of the issue.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. It slipped.
Yes. So
it's a product of my upbringing in this awful fucking place I was brought up. These words were like.
Should you get your apology out of the way?
Poisoned. I'm sorry. I apologize. I have nothing but the most love and admiration for those of that persuasion that happen to be good people.
Okay, let's move on.
Those who are not can go fuck themselves.
Let's move on. Okay. So Joe, you can read your chat room hate now and deal with the chat room anyways. So Hotar shows up, he takes Bronn out, and Bronn says, am I going to be happy? She says one more time, but as Bronn's getting taken out, Tyene goes up to the bars and says, say one more time. Okay, say it one more time, and he goes, you are the most beautiful.
I feel fucking awful. I'm sorry.
As the sister calls her slut, and it cuts away. So we go to the room where Jaime is, and he's introduced to Bronn and Doran and to Tristan. Bronn in the Blackwater. Doran says, "Yep, there's knights from the Blackwater," and Bronn's like, "Yep, only one." As Bronn's realizing he's probably not going to be killed here. Jaime says he agrees to your freedom as Bronn says, "Oh, that pie looks delicious. Can I have some of that pie?" And Jaime goes, "There's one condition." As Arya Hotar takes the butt of the axe and breaks his jaw.
Woo!
As Jaime says, "How about soup then?"
I was hoping he would say no.
A couple people in the chat say, "Don't worry, Joe. We love you. Just keep off the steroids."
I know, right? Oh my God, I'm so fucking Joe's a step from calling him a retard. No, I didn't. I went worse. I removed that word from my fucking vocabulary to replace it with something worse almost.
Bill says, Bill says,
Oh.
I heard skag, and Farcloud says, I heard hag. So
hag. I said hag.
So let's leave it there.
Something against old ladies.
Okay,
Let's
leave it there. So we cut to something. Let's get to something serious here. We'll cut to oysters, clams, and cockles. Back in Bravos, with Arya. As a guy comes up and says, must be watching the podcast because he says, how much for your little clam? as he gets to Arya. As the music gets dark, she approaches the Thin Man and takes out her poison and cups it in her hand. As she's nervous, but she approaches, he says he'll come close. He says, "Come closer. I want your oyster. Come here.
Hey, girl, get your clams over here."
But what's the cockle?
That's he's not the only one that wanted Arya's clams tonight.
Well, she's an adorable girl.
Oh yeah, she is.
Your punishment continues. Keep reading the chat.
Too old.
Oh no, I don't want to read it. I feel awful.
Keep reading the chat. So he says, She's nervous, but she approaches him. But he says, "Come closer." She wants the oyster. He says, "I'm talking to you." She looks, but the distraction comes as the guy, the thin man, sees the boat pull up, and everyone's sort of distracted by seeing the colors of King's Landing, and it is, in fact, Meereen fucking Trant as she just gets the look of death on her face. As we also
He's on my list.
As we also get the banker
Your
from
list too?
Well, yeah, I'm with Arya.
Oh, okay.
Renwood says, "For your information, a cockle is a small edible saltwater clam."
Yeah.
Thank you.
A cuckold is also
Fact checker.
Someone
Absolutely
who's-
fact checker.
Did she what? A what?
Cockle.
Cockle, not
cockle.
cockold.
Cockle.
No, that's different.
That's different. That's different. One of our chat people said that was talking about that earlier. So and I have to admit that in this scene, I was distracted about everything that was being said between Mace Tyrell and the Bank of Bravos guy because I was just concentrating on Arya during this whole scene. So the
Her
bank
face was very dynamic.
Amazing.
She did a very good job here.
So, but I did get a few lines that Mace says. The banker asked Mace how the trip was, and he says, "That was all right. A bit of chop, lasted 2 days, but."
So I want to respond to the Gypsyette. No, I wasn't in high school in the 80s. I started high school in 1990, but I should have started in 1980. But I stayed back in kindergarten because I couldn't. I flunked sandbox.
Well,
so.
I remember in elementary school in the 80s, words like that were acceptable and
Yeah, I don't want to dwell. I don't want to dwell on this, guys. Let's keep going.
I just thought it was funny because you knew it in the 80s. Like,
no,
just
that
about,
was a
pretty
very
much.
good question. Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I'm gonna be the grandfather who's like, "Oh, don't worry, he was raised in a time when that was."
No, you'll be the guy that feels bad and moves
I hope
on.
so. I can't believe I said I feel bad.
Let's continue with the episode. So we chop off. So we're good to see, and Arya looks and watches as Mace starts kind of basically trying to butter up the guy, saying, "I'm going to give you lots of wine," and the banker's like, "I don't drink." As they head towards the bank, Mace starts talking about Maegor III, who outlawed interest and would cut people's hands off, and the banker's just like, "Yeah, that's true, but that's not the way things are now." And Mace is like, "Well, you gamble, and you're gamblers, and you win. That's why you have this big fucking castle here." And Mace is kind of showing his charms. He starts singing, and
this guy is immediately put off by him too. Like when he goes to shake his hand, he's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, he sees him as a romantic weak fool.
Yeah.
And he's just a good-natured imbecile, pretty much.
Yeah,
he doesn't understand the people around him and the intentions that they could have. And he's just sweet and romantic and in his own fantasy world.
Bill says, "I was distracted thinking about Arya's clam in my cockle."
You don't want to be Arya's cuckold. You'd rather be Arya. You'd rather cuckold someone with Arya.
Sounds like cockles are smaller than clams.
So Mace starts
cockles sit in the corner and play no clams.
No,
right?
we're talking about cockles, not cuckolds.
Imagine
a cart of cuckolds. Oh boy.
She's not going to be able to push around a cart of cuckolds.
Yeah, no, that's heavy.
Mace starts to sing as the banker and Trent just look at each other. And my question here for the chat and for you guys: who's the better singer, Mace or Bronn?
Bronn. I knew you were going to Bronn.
Bronn.
Oh yeah, Bronn, much better singer.
So
he has to sing. These other girls, this guy doesn't have to sing to get laid. He sings in the shower, and when he sings, women leave bed after he's paid them.
Scout says the high fool of High Garden is or no, that's Steve Fiven says that's we can call Mace the high fool of High Garden. Do we think Mace is inept, or is he just goofy?
A little of both.
A little of both?
I think he's just very limited in his thinking and perception of the world around him. And it may be willful, but it's very real. He is just in a romantic daydream all the time.
So as we cut after this scene to Meereen Trent singing talking shit while he's walking at night, saying that fucking cunts, the Tyrells. They back that boy fucker Renly King. It's now time. They're just fuckers. Basically getting the vibe that everyone's thinking that he might be there to kill Tyrell or just to he has no support of him. So it's night now. They show up at a whorehouse in Bravos. He's saying, I'm buying, but I'm not sharing, as they all head in.
You fucking bastard. You're not sharing, really? That's the kind of asshole this asshole. He's not just an asshole. He's an asshole. He makes the most money out of all these fucking guards here, and he doesn't fucking share? What a prick.
Nope.
You go fuck yourself.
Won't even buy a round.
I ain't going to stop anybody from stabbing you in the back of the fucking head as one of your fucking guards mates.
You should at least buy a round.
You should at least buy a fucking... You should at least die. Arya, fucking get to work.
So we cut to the whorehouse as soon as Arya comes in, and the pimp says, you sell your fish somewhere else. And one of the horses, well, I'm hungry. Sell me some of yours. And she says that oysters are an aphrodisiac, and she forces her Don there, or not her Don, her Jon, excuse me, to buy some oysters. And she says, and she follows back to the room where Trent is in, and he's kind of deciding between girls. He's doing that. He's sitting down, and they're bringing in different girls for him, and he's just such an ass. Every girl that comes in, he's like, "That's too old. That's
not young enough."
He's beyond ass, because some asses are pretty. You can enjoy an ass, apparently, depending on your persuasion. But he is a pedophile.
Yeah, that's what Scout Dakota just said. Not just an asshole, he is a pedophile. Handra Sir says he is an asshole and the asshole behind the goat's asshole.
Hey, goats are awesome. Dude, don't insult the goats.
He is awful. So she's sitting out there.
Nothing to do with their assholes.
He just keeps saying that they're too young, and he asks, do you have what I want, to the madam? And the madam goes out to go find what he wants, as one of his guards grabs Arya and goes, oh, you have those oysters. I want some oysters. Excuse me. And they bring him in. And right away, Meereen Trent starts kind of eyeball fucking her because he's a fucking pedophile dickhead, and he's looking at her like, "Oh, is this my girl?" And he's just giving her all rapey, "I'm gonna have my way with you" eyes. And the madam comes in and shoves Arya and goes, "Get out of here, get out of here!" But Trent's excited watching it, and they bring in this other really young looking girl, and he goes, "Okay, I'm."
He gets so excited when Arya fucking walks through.
He's been seeing her every step of the way since he got off the boat.
Oh yeah,
he's been seeing her, and I think
that girl looks like the Stark girl I wanted to fuck. But that little fucking water dancer bastard got in my way.
Yeah. No, he may not recognize her, but he at least knows that she's following him. That's not too much of a coincidence, which is why she was afraid when that soldier came over and pulled her out of the shadows.
So Arya watches from the outside, and he says, and Meereen Trent says to the madam, "I'll tell you when I'm done with her, and have a fresh one for me tomorrow." Oh, what a fucking
yeah!
Fuck this guy. So as he watches. The pimp woman comes out and is like, I'll have you whipped, girl, if you don't get out of here. But Arya's got a plan. You can just see that look in her eyes. So we get back to the House of Black and White, and Jaqen's doing his water killing people thing. And he comes up to her and says, so the Thin Man, what up with that? And Arya's like, he's not hungry today. Perhaps he'll be hungry tomorrow. And he says a girl has work to do to go clean up the guy that just died. But it looks like, and people were talking about this in the chat, and I think he obviously knows she's lying. She's not half as good of a liar as she thinks she is.
No.
And he's all about it.
Yeah.
So let's get through this scene really quick. We cut to Doran talking to Illyria's and the Sand Snakes, telling them that their rebellion is over. He says, "You can swear allegiance to me or die. It's your choice." Illyria kneels before him and kisses Dr. Bashir's ring, and starts crying. And the Sand Snakes look on as Doran says, "I believe in second chances, but I do not believe in third chances." As he lets go of her hand and just looks at her like...
Oh, and she's crying away, too.
Yeah, well, she's finally, I think,
and the Sand Snakes are pissed. They're like, "Oh, how dare he make my mommy do this?" Like, your mom is trying to start a fucking revolution with like for stupid fucking reasons.
I interpreted it slightly differently.
How did you interpret that different?
That was there, yes. But I think for her, she was feeling the grief finally.
A couple
because
people.
she doesn't have a rebellious outlet for it anymore. She just has to humble herself and kneel and feel the pain. I think the daughters were
feeling
sympathetic
that for her.
to that and feeling a little ashamed. It's never easy to see your mother or your leader humbled.
Yeah, to admit defeat is very difficult.
I think that there were many aspects to it, including the one that you attributed.
Do you think she's given up? Do you think like that's it?
No.
Like she bent the knee and now
No. I think a couple people in the chat say this. I think she's acting. I think it was a sympathy plea in that situation to show remorse, and I think it was good acting by Ilaria Sand. And
she ain't fucking Dornish. Fuck that. She ain't no Sand. Unbowed, unbent, unbroken, motherfuckers.
A couple people.
So Sand.
I want to go back to Arya for 1 second. Some people said, "How come Jaqen didn't slap her right there and call her out on her lie?" I think
she's good.
Because I think he knows that she is meant for bigger and better things than just his order.
Well,
and he's helping her follow her own path.
And I also think, I think it's more that, Katie. I think he wants to let her make her mistakes and see where she's going with it. I'll see where she's going with it.
Or also a third is maybe it's about not necessarily her making her own mistakes or her following her own path, but hey, the faceless God, it doesn't matter. It'll come when it comes. Well, just like if it didn't matter whether or not it was the Thin Man or Arya, maybe it won't matter whether or not it's Meryn Trent or the Thin Man.
And who knows if the Thin Man was actually a target? Yeah, Jaqen H'ghar said,
exactly.
What is a man to know of what a girl sees? It's all about her journey.
Right, and from what we saw, the Thin Man, like we kind of gather that the person they're praying, he didn't pay up on something, but like we didn't see that necessarily. So,
well, kind of, but it was a murky area.
So let's jump into the chat here again for a second.
Blah, 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 but
Stacey E says, I don't think that she was acting, talking about Ilaria. She broke down. And Ren Renwood says, I think that we will see Needle in the season finale.
Yeah, me too.
So.
Bill says, you guys are way off. If Arya kills someone she's not contracted to kill, she's going to be in big trouble. I agree with Bill. And I think Jaqen's going to set her up to see if she will make that mistake. I think that's what he's doing. He's going to see how far she will go. So I'm sure we'll get more with Arya next week as well.
I hope so. That can't be the last episode of the season.
No, we'll see more Arya.
No.
So the shot changes to Jaime after the Duran scene with the golden hand writing a letter to someone as Ilaria comes in and says, you write like a 7-year-old. And then she gets in, the queen will be happy her daughter's coming home. You love her very much. Jaime says, yes, I love the princess, my niece, very much. As Ilaria says, no, you love Cersei. And Jaime gives that like, what the fuck look. And she goes, you think I disapprove? Why? People where you're from disapprove of that. Here, we're in Dorne. We're a lot more open. And 100 years ago, if you were Targaryen, it would have been cool there. Who we can love changes, but what we want doesn't. As she walks up and she says, I know your daughter had no part in what happened to Red Viper. Of course, she had no part in that. And I know perhaps you didn't have any part of that too. And Jaime's like, okay, thanks.
Yeah, sure.
Nope, not at all.
So do we think this is part of her plan of she's still trying her revenge plot, or was she really trying to connect with Jaime here?
A little of both. If she connects with him, she gets more information from him.
Yep. Hey, what's that old saying? Keep your enemies close and your friends not so close.
Crystal Ford says Jaime should have slapped her with the gold hand.
A little bit of the king's uncle's father. He's my uncle. He's my father. He's my uncle. He's my.
Oh gosh. So
beat to death now.
Nope.
Should we get to this? I'm horrified to even talk. I'm horrified to talk about this here. But I guess we need to get here.
No, we don't.
Cut to
We
Shireen.
don't have to get there.
Who? What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Shireen is just fine.
Shireen's a sweet girl who's traveling with her beloved father.
Yeah.
And he basically, with the in this scene, you're about to go through it,
What?
but there's a
What? I
point
don't
he
know.
kind of asks her when she's describing the Dance of Dragons book, and it's between Aemon or Aegon or Arian or Arya or whatever Targaryen and
Aegon and Rhaena.
no, Valerian.
It's a brother and
Valerian
sister.
or something, and it's a brother. But like, is he kind of saying, "Hey, you're like," because one of the places they send the stone men is Valyria, old Valyria.
Yeah.
And so that's like kind of what, like, immediately this is kind of what I thought. Like, so that's one. Like, would you rather go to Valyria, like be banished to Valyria, or would you rather be? And then we know that like, the Aegon and the Aemon or whatever the other second name was. I can't remember right now, and I'm also kind of drunk.
No, it was Rhaena, I believe. It's how you say it.
Oh, because I was figuring maybe it was.
No, it was.
Would you rather burn, or would you rather us just send you off to the fucking where the stone men die?
He went in there with the agenda. He knew exactly what was going to
He
happen.
couldn't
Yeah.
And he was just looking to connect whatever the fuck she said to him, which is always wise and sweet, to what he's
I
about
just
to
want
do
to
to
help
her.
you, Daddy. Oh, great. We're gonna burn you tomorrow, sweetie.
I'm so glad you said that. So,
So-
the
fucking
burning is scheduled
cocksucker!
for noon.
Oh my god! What a fucking bastard!
Yep.
Fucking fuck you, Stannis.
Stacey
Yep.
asked
So
her-
disappointing.
Yep.
Davis talked you up like you were a fucking superhero who, oh, he took my knuckles, but it's okay. He's a good guy and I deserved it.
It was
You
about
kept him
honor.
fucking alive on that stone fucking island where he would have starved to death and had to have eaten his fucking everybody back then. And he still took your fucking knuckles for smuggling shit that people wanted in the first place. Go fuck yourself, Stannis, you stupid fucking prick. I've lost all admiration, all respect. You don't deserve the fucking throne. I hope you freeze to death in Westeros, in the fucking north, at the fucking foothills of fucking Ramsay. I hope he pisses on your fucking corpse and flees you and hangs you next to the bodies of the fucking bullshit fucking Miller's children, you fuck.
Okay, so
Fuck.
we cut to Shireen.
Knife to the back of your head, you fuck.
So
Fuck.
we cut to Shireen in her tent reading, and Stannis comes in and asks what she's reading, and she tells us.
Oh, you fucking cocksucker.
We
I
cut to
knew
the,
what was
How
happening.
dare you?
I didn't want to know. I knew. It
so
was so awful.
it was awful, and she
sweet
tells
girl.
the story of two Targaryen brothers fighting each other for the crown, like Stannis and Renly, and she says it really sucked for the Targaryens because it cost them so much, and they never quite recovered it from it. Stannis says,
Nation and everyone and their family too.
Stannis says,
Yeah.
why dance? And she says, that's why they call it. I think it's poetic. And Stannis is like, I don't think it's poetic. That's fucking stupid. Stannis says, then Stannis asks her about the two. And he goes, if you had to choose between Rhaena and Aegon, who would you choose? And she says, neither. Because it's the choosing sides that cause the problems. And Stannis says, you have to choose a side sometimes. The world forces your hand. A man knows what he must become, must remain true to himself, but sometimes there's no choice at all.
This is not remaining true to yourself, you stupid fuck. You were an honorable man. This isn't remaining true to yourself to get what you want or to get what your destiny is. Staying true to yourself, you stupid shit, is staying true to the fact that you told this red fucking cunt to go bleed all over herself and fucking leave my children out of it. Fucking douchebag. You fuck.
Staying
This is
true.
not, yeah, go fuck your little speech.
Hey.
Go fuck your little speech, I get nothing.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Create a life.
Joe's going to
You
explode.
don't fucking.
You
destroy
put
it.
yourself on that fucking pyre before you put your daughter on that pyre, you piece of shit fucking lowlife fuck. I don't even have kids. You go fuck yourself.
Yeah, we
dirty
don't have
fucking
kids
slime. You don't
because
deserve
we're
the
good
throne.
parents.
Fuck you. Fuck you for disappointing me so much. I defended you when you killed your fucking brother and slept with that fucking whore and made that fucking bastard shadow child.
We
Whatever
trusted
the
you
fuck
like
it
Davos
was.
did.
Ah! Die slow, you. Let my 4-4 make sure all you fuckers don't grow. Go kill yourself, you piece of shit.
See, like that's why for a split second, well, for a few seconds, I wanted the mother. Selyse to make it to the pyre.
At least die
and
trying.
at least throw herself
die
on
trying.
it to die with her child.
To see the error of her
And
ways.
it's a merciful thing because that physical pain she would feel compares nothing to the pain she's going to live with now that she's had the realization that she's had.
Everyone
That
sees
how
It's going
fucking
to be
bullshit your more the light
excruciating
is.
pain, and that's really sad for her.
Oh, you fucking
Burning
bags.
would have been nothing.
Joe
compared
needs
to
some
that.
essence of nightshade. Joe just had a stroke.
Give me some of the fucking poppy.
Yeah, my poppies haven't bloomed yet.
So-
So,
And yes, Stacey,
God damn.
I was.
Instead of the milk of the
was.
poppy, this is what I got. I ran out of Three-Eyed Crow. Right now, I'm drinking a Samuel Smith's organic, handcrafted fruit
extra
ale
sweet
raspberry.
brandy juice.
It's
Extra sweet.
it's good. It's potent. It's sweet. It's a product of merry old England.
now
Long live the
Shireen after
Queen.
Merry old England.
Shireen after this just basically says, "Dad, I want to help you no matter what. I'll help you."
Oh, bite your tongue, sweet little fucking
says,
child.
"You don't even know what I'm asking you about." And
Nope,
she
and
says,
she
"It
doesn't
doesn't
care.
matter. I want to help you any way I can." He pauses for like a good, in TV time, it was like 10 minutes, but you know, he pauses for a good second here, and he says, Yes, there is something you can do. And she says, fine, as he just puts his head down. And I'm just like, wow, cold-blooded. She says, I'm the Princess Shireen of House Baratheon. I'm your daughter. I want to help you, as she hugs him and he just says, forgive me. As we cut to her
Oh,
being,
you
let me
fucking
get through it.
asshole!
Let me get through it. As she's being marched out in the group with the guards, as she's smiling and she's so happy, and as she notices what's going on, is that she starts to realize, as she sees
And it's winter.
Melisandre.
There's no pretty flowers to look at, Phil. There's no pretty flowers.
No.
There's no pretty flowers,
Well,
Shireen.
when you're burning, that doesn't help anyway.
Ugh.
She says, she starts screaming, where is my father? I want to see my father. Mel, fucking Mel, said this fucking red fucking piece of shit ass face, says, it's all going to be over soon. I just want to fucking, and she grabs, and then the guards come and grab Shireen and bring her off, and all Ned Stark her and like grab her as she's just screaming, Father, don't let this happen. Father, where are you? Where are you?
No wolf to save this little girl.
Oh!
Sam got the wolf. Gilly got the wolf. No wolf for you, Shireen.
I
You were
was thinking,
doomed
like,
from birth.
at least
Oh, yes,
Stannis
again.
wasn't there. Like, he couldn't watch it. It was too much for him.
He couldn't even light the fire
He's
himself.
He's there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're not sorry. There's no sorry in you. You hugged her and you said, I'm sorry, I'm going to burn you alive so I can be king.
Forgive me.
That's what you said.
That's what
you
he
said.
said.
I
Forgive
want to
me.
rule subjects, so I'm going to burn. I can't even rule my family in peace. You fucking piece of shit, cocksucking.
Fuck him.
Face.
Fuck
Go
this.
fuck yourself, Stannis, the Lord of fucking shit, the Lord of putrid, of spew. You fuckface.
No.
So Mel says it's overseas and grab her.
The king of putrescence.
So he's just looking. He's looking on as Melisandre starts her praying about this is a token that we're giving her away. As Selyse says, it's like we're sacrificing her for food. This is a really good thing. And Stannis is watching as I'm like, as I write my notes. Oh my God, this is actually happening. They're about to burn her as she cries, "Mother, mother, please." As her mother looks at her, and Selyse turns to Stannis and says, "We can't." And Stannis, and I really, in this moment, I thought Stannis was going to jump on her side. And Stannis turns to her and says, "No way, we have to." As Mel gets to the night is dark and filled with terrors, I'm like, that's close to the burning. That's close to the burning. We can't actually be doing this. Where's Davos to save the day? Where's something? Where's Ramsay to do something? As Selyse says, "No, I can't do this," and she starts running towards the fire, and then guards start holding her back.
This is what you wanted, Selyse. I don't buy it. You just fall to the fucking ground and cry. You don't struggle. You don't actually. You should die fucking trying to save her. You should be running into the flames and pulling her charred corpse from the fucking stake. You stupid, weak, cowardice fucking douchebag. Go fuck yourself. Your family is doomed. I'm glad you're all fucking dead.
Oh, it's awful.
The only one of you fucking Baratheons that didn't deserve to die, as far as I'm concerned, is that poor girl this fuck is put up on the stake.
So Stannis watches as we hear the screams, as we hear the screams of a little girl. As I wrote in the notes, "What the fuck?" As Selysa's yelling no, and Stannis turns around and he can't handle it.
Did a good job screaming.
What the fuck did we just watch, guys? We just watched fucking insanity.
We watched a fucking child get burned to death right after witnessing a second child under the threat of fucking rape.
I can't.
And another child being let off to possibly be raped, or hopefully that was just a young looking over 18 prostitute.
Well,
hopefully,
even still,
yeah,
a
right.
child. I don't think
Jesus
Westeros
Christ.
necessarily has the
child fucking
age limits that we do today.
Well, no, and you know, in a quasi-medieval, if this is medieval, even in medieval society that we had in our planet Earth, it's very different standards of what's old enough and what's not.
Before we get off Stannis, let's hit the chat. Let's hit the chat room and get some people in here. Vince says, "Man, Stannis is why Ned died. It's good if Ned supported Renly's claim, he'd still be alive. Ned died because he thought this scumbag had to be king."
It's such a waste.
Yep.
Such a waste of honor and integrity.
Yep. Bill has something with you, Joe. Bill Sotheby says Robert didn't deserve to die. He was a bad king, but he didn't deserve to die.
You know what?
Well,
he was trying to murder children across the across the narrow sea. No, that was also him. He was trying to murder. He was trying to murder Danny and
oh, that's right.
You know, he was keeping tabs on them. He was in favor of killing them the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, like basically when they fucking the King's Landing was lost, all the children were killed to begin with. Yeah, no, maybe he wasn't a bad king, and maybe he didn't deserve to die. It's not, you know, and he was in a loveless marriage, and his kids weren't his, and all this shit. But
Benjamin has
since that, you know. He didn't do very well ruling the fucking kingdom. He certainly didn't deserve to be king just because he fucking avenged what he thought might have been his lover's death.
What people deserve and what happens to them is rarely the same thing.
Very true. Very true. Stacey E says, no, he was trying to kill off the Targaryens. Rachel says, now I wish Renly defeated Stannis. I think a lot of people
Yep.
Assassin says, Robert changed his mind right before he died. Dragon says, when Shireen went to the fire, she had that stag Davos gave to her. When Stannis burns Shireen, he burns the House Baratheon. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Good point. Wow. I didn't even think of that. Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's especially true when we see on his table in his command center that the sigil that he now goes by is the heart with the stag in the middle of it, and it's a flaming heart.
Yeah.
It's no longer just a stag.
It's a perversion of what his family sigil was.
Correct, and it's perverted with the Lord of Light, and when Shireen dies, so does House Baratheon. Absolutely,
any good spirit that the House Baratheon had to begin with. She was
I was saying Bill is speaking my mind right now, but he's not all bad, because if he had killed Dany and Viserys, think about it, we wouldn't have had all those shitty Dany scenes. He's trying to help us.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, always look on the bright side.
Yeah,
always look on the bright side of life.
Yeah, I like that.
Ow, 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 ow.
When life's a piece of shit,
now
get out in front of it.
Do we have any more on Stannis right now? Should we hammer more on this fucking asshole?
Oh, I could hammer this asshole. I could hammer this asshole for hours, Phil.
Oh my god.
Hours. Motherfucking piece of shit. Fucking cocksucking fuck.
Benjamin has an interesting point. I think Stannis really lost respect of some of his men by doing that. I agree, and they made
they were disgusted by it. They were absolutely disgusted by it.
They aren't the faithful necessarily of the fire god there,
and
that's all I can call him. The fire
and
god.
we've got a new voicemail. Let's play the voicemail.
Ah!
Let's see. Where is it? Where is this voicemail? Here we go.
Okay, Stannis is a bad person. He'll probably die eventually. He's still not a worse person than Ramsay, though. Like, comparing those two is not comparable. That's all I wanted to say.
Did Ramsay kill his child? Did
Thank God Ramsay never procreated.
Like here's the thing.
He would.
Like Ramsay has done some bad
absolutely
shit, and he's
would.
done a lot of bad shit. But like, where do you draw? When is evil just more evil than evil? Evil is evil, and that's all there is to it. So once Stannis crosses this line, he is on par with Ramsay. There is no differentiating the two. He is the same. He is the same piece of shit fucking scumbag that is like there's no like degree of fucking cocksucker at that point. You're just fucking, you're dead. You're fucking dead to me. You're dead to the fuck. You deserve the knife in the back of the fucking skull. Like, they're absolutely on the exact same level, and you can flip a coin as to who you want to kill first, who you want to kill second, who you want to rape in the ass with a hot fucking pitchfork. It doesn't fucking matter at that point. Do them both at the same time, one before the other. They're both fucking scum. They both deserve to die. And yeah, they can absolutely be compared and contrasted. Go fuck themselves.
Also, I have to say,
I just wanted to say, I think that's kind of his point. They're different kinds of evil, but they're both fucking evil. How do you compare? It's all just evil. Break it down to the simplest point. They're both fucking evil.
I would say I'm a little bit more angry with Stannis at the moment because Ramsay can't help but be himself, and he's true to himself in that insanity. Whereas Stannis is doing it because he's being manipulated, I think, by that. I think we're sleeping a little bit on the fact that Melisandre is a fucking manipulated douchebag that's to blame for a lot of this. I'm not taking Stannis off the hook at all, but Melisandre deserves a lot of this hate as well.
She's definitely manipulated so much of this situation. I just think when it comes down to it, when you're faced with two types of extreme evil, it's whatever the fuck touches a nerve for each individual.
And Stannis ain't coming down off the hook until the body I am fucking beating falls to the ground because it tears through bone and flesh from the fucking extraordinary blows from the crowbars and the baseball bats.
It's tough to get over that.
Fuck Stannis.
It's tough to get over the responsibility that comes with bearing a child. And that's huge. Bearing and loving and raising a child and then betraying everything that encompasses that's tough to get over.
We have to say a big thank you to Richie. Richie said he can't get in the chat, but thank you so much, Richie, for those kind words you said in the message. Means a ton.
Thank you.
Thank you. Paul. Hey, Paul. How's it going? Azimuth Game says, likely the reason the White Walkers die from obsidian is because it's infused the Fire Lord of Light's power. And the Lord of Light's power has been awoken since the dragons have showed up. We have got word of that from a couple of different red witches.
No, all sorts of power. I think they've called it the Red Lord's power, but I think all of magic has been awoken. And it's a matter of the direction that the magical workers have taken it.
Renwood says, Ramsay is crazy, Stannis is not. And Brendan Davis says, I think the difference between Stannis and Ramsay is you can deal with Stannis on a regular basis. He makes his evil decisions once in a while, whereas Ramsay is like living with evil 24/7.
Stannis is necessity-based psycho, whereas Ramsay is just a have your own fun whenever you want to psycho.
Dr. Pavel, I'm going to say your comment, until Stannis does something as bad in the books, then I still think that Stannis is the Manus. Watch the D&D if you can, the special features. They should be on YouTube tomorrow somewhere. The special features for after the episode, if you can, where Dan and Dave talk about talking to George R. R. Martin about that coming. So I don't want to say that's canon or whatever or something, but that was said on the show tonight after the episode. So sorry, Winds of Winter spoiler-ish, maybe. I don't know.
Can you do me a favor, Phil?
Yes.
Can you explain to me and everybody else out there in Watchland who doesn't know what D&D stands for?
Dan and Dave. Dan and Dave are the two creators of the television show. And we're referred to as by the shorthand of D&D.
I was thinking Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anyone that thinks I'm talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Which could be irrelevant. You're like, why is he comparing Dungeons and Dragons to? Are we talking? Should we get to the dragons? Is that the time to talk about the dragons?
I don't know. Sure, I was going with it. It worked.
So yes, I don't know if that is something said in the scene right after the episode, in the inside look that they show right after the episode on HBO. So unfortunately, this might be a future for Stannis. Maybe George R. R. Martin's fucking with them. Who knows what's going on? Nothing's out, so nothing is set in stone. This is all speculative. We're on speculation mountain right here, casting stones here.
Yeah, I don't know. Even after this in the show, the books, he needs to win my affections back big time. Stannis has some proving to do.
I love what's going on in the chat room right now to talk about that.
It's ridiculous. I keep going to read it and getting lost in it, and then I have no idea what the fuck you two are talking about.
Okay. So
ranting. Wait, what's the rant about?
About that fuck Stannis. God damn him.
Yeah.
You ruined my fucking Stannis.
So
no honor, no integrity.
Fucking
Forest
bastard.
Nation says no excuse for Stannis. Sacrifices his daughter to Satan. Worst thing one can do.
Yep. They certainly set this god up as a very Satan-like creature.
And Crazy John says the worst part is Stannis burnt her by a slow death method.
Oh,
you let her die.
How do you burn by a quick death method?
Is there such a thing?
Like burning it, you cook someone. You're cooking someone.
I think meaning just like killed her slowly by burning her would probably be
sure. Yeah, no, it's awful.
It's awful.
I'd probably just try to avoid that thought.
Yeah, you don't burn your daughter. I mean, that's something I'm gonna
don't burn your daughter alive. You don't do it.
It's just one of those things you don't do.
Your in-laws is one thing. Your fucking daughter is something completely different.
There was a lot of Greco-Roman flashback type of shit in this episode. Like, they burned people to death. They had like ovens set up for people that were shaped like bulls. It was weird. There was very Romanesque imagery in this episode.
Not to mention where we're about to go right now.
Yep.
To the Colosseum.
I know how to do a segue.
Steel Saber sent us a message. She says, Stannis is dead to me. Before anyone begins, Dan and Dave bashing on the Shireen scene. At the end of the episode, in the behind-the-scenes episode, the producers say that they specifically talked to George about this, and this is what he told them is supposed to happen. Not sure if this has happened in the books or not, but I thought it was a good point to bring up. And that's what we're saying. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's sad. I had that little bit of hope that at least in the books, Stannis would continue with his integrity and his honor. But yeah, thanks for the letdown.
Thanks, guys.
I'm kidding. No, that's very awesome.
Thanks for telling me that what happened tonight, because it feels right to tell me that, because I have that George R. R. Martin made me feel bad feeling inside.
Yes.
So I know that this came from George. You could just tell.
Oh,
yes.
George. Why do you keep breaking my heart?
Compare this to like the Sansa rape scene, which a lot of people were horrified about, and all that sort of stuff about Dan and Dave created this and did this, yada yada. It's a different sort of feel where it's like it's a George thing. You just have this icky feeling inside you that like is gonna stick with me for a month.
You just got fucked by George right in the ass.
We just got fucked by George in the ass. We got one of our big tells here. Stannis is not the Manus.
No, and you know this.
Bad daddy.
You know that it's not a
TV
fucking in the ass, because
it's all
D&D would have done something like have the wolf jump out of nowhere and save Shireen's life.
Do the Jon
But
Snow
George
thing,
fucking R. R. Martin, author of books and novels, has the bitch burned at the fucking stake.
Right.
Period. Like,
I do want to say something, and then I'm gonna drop talking about the books. MC Dicker, great name, says they never directly say that Stannis signs off on it. He's 100 miles away in the book. So theoretically, all it says from the books is that Shireen probably dies. So it doesn't.
I like that thing.
But we don't know that. And that's the point, that we're all playing the speculation game, and that's what's awesome. Starting next week, after next episode, we're all at an even play. It's time to play the game, but we'll talk about that next week. So here we go to applause. Fucking applause. The drums in Meereen. We see that spoiler picture shot that we saw with Dany sitting with his Dar and Tyrion. That the big thing that we got on the preseason to show you that Daenerys and Tyrion were going to meet up at some point.
Yeah, I'm not down with hubby. I hope he gets killed quick.
He did. He died.
What?
Yeah, he died in that scene.
I know.
He got killed with one of the harpies killed him, I believe.
Just trying to keep it
thank
interesting.
God.
I'm almost positive that one of the harpies killed his daughter.
Oh, come on. He looked like he had set that shit up right from the
He
fucking
did.
start.
He
He
did.
He at least coming.
as sin.
Yeah.
But if he died there, then theoretically he didn't set it up. He
Well,
wasn't.
he
Oh,
probably
no.
just didn't expect to die.
Right.
He was in on it and just didn't expect to die.
Yeah. The other people who are like, oh, he's married to the queen, who he's maybe not like talking up or down talking the evilness of this woman. He's married to her. You can't trust him now. He set this up. You got to kill him in the onslaught as well.
He's betraying his queen.
Because in
betray
the
us.
aftermath, he may be looked at as the most powerful in the city. So he's got to die during that as well.
Sure. Someone said, who said that in the chat? As crazy. Dr. Pavel says Cersei is more batshit and crazy, insane. Yeah, she's the most batshit crazy. If we're doing that insanity hierarchy, Cersei's on top.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Well,
would be an interesting study.
Yeah.
Who's most psychotic?
Yes, the best. The Shrubber says, "Welcome, Shrubber." The best line delivery of the night was Dario telling the other dude to shut up. Yeah, Dario was awesome. I
That
actually
was an
really like.
interesting exchange. Dario stepped up this episode.
I like Dario in this episode. I have to say, I can't lie.
It was good seeing. Like, he told him to. He basically had to eat a little crow himself. There, you weren't the only person that ate a little crow tonight. Dario had to eat a little bit.
Yeah, but it's okay because he came back and hubby died.
No, but he ate a little bit of crow to start, but then Tyrion proved him right.
See, now crow is delicious.
We have
Why
another.
is that a bad thing in your world?
We have another voicemail. Let's play it.
It's
I'll
not
tell you
kosher.
how I quantify evil. Joffrey was first. No one has been more evil than that dude on the show. Barry Trent is a pedophile. So
Yeah.
to me, that's like the most evil thing you can be.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes,
Killing
it
his
is
own
lifelong
daughter doesn't
torture.
trump that to me.
Yeah.
And Ramsey is, I guess, third in this evil list. So Stannis is probably somewhere in the top 6. And yes, I can quantify evil. Evil is just
He has the
There
formula.
hierarchies of evil that you can go to. That's my thought. Bye.
Awesome.
Once
I
you reach
know,
evil,
totally.
like the hierarchy is over.
It's all about what touches a nerve in each individual.
Right, because
evil is evil and it's awful.
right, you want to start quantifying evil. Once you
Right.
put something in the evil category, okay, what may be more evil to you is not more evil to me, but they're
Yeah.
both evil, so they're both evil.
The
It's
Shrubber.
like asking someone what your greatest fear is.
I just wanna jump-
fear is fear.
I just
and
want
we
to
all
jump in chat for a
interpret it
second.
differently.
Thank you so much, Shrubber from Brazil. Thank you so much for your comment.
Oh, thank
Thank
you. Thank you so much.
I love it. Thank
Keep
you.
it
Keep
up,
calling.
guys. Keep it up.
Bruce says Crow gives wolves indigestion.
Well, yeah.
It's
you
not
gotta-
indigestion
you
so
gotta
much
pace
as it's
yourself.
gas, and I'm going to be in trouble tonight.
Hey.
You heard the burp?
Hey,
Vaughn,
keep something secret.
Farcloud says crows might taste okay, but they're still liars. And Vaughn asks,
All crows are liars. Yes.
They are the messengers. That's all. They tell people what they're sent to tell them.
Mr. Pabogist says Unsullied just
messenger.
keep getting their asses kicked. Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Unsullied, yeah, my ass. They're getting their cocks and balls cut off for no reason if they're
They're
getting.
heavily sullied.
Oh,
They're sullied in the worst
Well, here's the thing,
ways.
too. They're a lot like America in Vietnam, so to speak. Like they're made to fight a war a certain way. They're trained a certain way for sieges in rows with their spears, shield wall, this kind of
Phalanx,
bullshit.
yeah.
They're not trained to be peacekeepers and policemen and
No.
guards of the city. It's completely
Same with the
different kind of thing.
Same
And
with the Second Sons. The Second Sons
Yes.
are should be out there pillaging and shit like that and conquering.
Yeah.
stuff.
right, they're being told to do something they don't do.
Absolutely. So So some guy comes out and starts the night. Welcome, speaking Valyrian. Welcome, Queen. Welcome, everybody. As everyone cheers. Dario's there first, too. And the first fight is strong versus quick. Danny doesn't like the whole thing with the intro as we wait for it to start. As Isdar says there, we're waiting for you to clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. We're Lambda, Lambda, and Omega Mu. And she claps her hand. The place goes crazy. And she's amazed, and she looks like amazed and horrified.
I think she's horrified too.
She's a combination of both. Like amazed that these people are into it is what I
the passion that follows this. She sees it as savage.
Everybody is silent. This is a crowd. Like, come on, imagine being at like Foxborough Stadium's even too small. I don't even know.
The Coliseum.
One of the bigger, like the Coliseum, even bigger, even like, just imagine
this was very Roman.
There's 100,000 people sitting in a circle. Not a single fucking one of them. You can hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
They're all waiting for her clap.
The Queen.
They want to hear the start of the game.
Are you saying Daenerys has the clap? No, sorry.
Oh, she's got the ultimate crap. Clap.
Clap.
Both.
Daenerys has got the clap.
Queen. Clap and crap.
So Dario starts talking his talk and starts getting an ego boost from remembering his glory days.
I gotta interrupt you. I'm sorry for a comment. Tara Thralls, good night.
Oh, personal good night from Tara Thralls.
Oh, thank you. Stacey E says, say what you want about the Unsullied, but if they aren't there, Danny's dead before Drogon even lands. Very good point, Stacey.
Well, at that point, it seemed like she was dead no matter what, and Drogon was also.
Right. You got to give a big thumbs up to, Jorah for saving her life. Not once, but maybe twice. At least twice. Dario as well. All of them,
Tyrion!
All of them stepped. Tyrion saved Missandei. Oh, you fucking giant of lions.
Pete's live music. Yeah, I'd put 20 good Omega Moos up against the Unsullied in the hockey.
Yeah.
No, this scene, this whole progression, I was on the edge of my seat. I was whimpering. I was growling. I was howling. I couldn't control myself.
I know, true. I kept
especially when Tyrion Tyrion the warrior came out. Woo!
Azimuth Game says that stadium wasn't that big. They walked across the field pretty. I lost the comment a little bit.
Maybe it's Foxborough size, which is a small,
relatively small
NFL stadium.
Sure.
Stacey says Danny has the clap, perhaps grayscale now. She needs to check up ASAP.
Yeah. Oh, so many questions.
Oh my God! What did you do, Jorah?
I keep waiting for him to reveal. He does not love her.
Dario gets in on this.
Maybe it's not contagious until a certain point.
See, so many questions.
No, I think from what's been said and what's been said in the comments, a lot of people have put some really good information in the comments. You can check it out from the last couple of videos. It's direct contact from where the breakout is. That would need breakout would need to touch her.
Okay.
So
don't touch the stone scales.
But then there's the consideration, like he's sweating a lot.
Yes,
does
that's
the
why I said that
breakout
earlier.
seep? Is it pussy? Is it
No, it's
juicy?
stone.
Is it
Stone
bloody?
don't bleed, yo. Stone don't sweat.
Oh, it's cracked. It's all cracked.
Tara says, Joe, no, I'm still here. Wouldn't miss a minute of you guys. I checked out a lot of other reviews of Game of Thrones, and you guys rock the most. I was saying goodnight to someone else. Damn you, Joe.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Joseph, why did you leave us?
Conclusion. Joseph, come back.
Firecloud says the fighters
I'm glad you
formerly
didn't
known
leave
as
her.
the Unsullied.
I'm
No,
very
not
glad
so much.
you didn't leave.
Now they're just a U symbol. Yeah, Tyrion in his Blackwater Axe dragon.
They're formerly known as Unsullied. Now they're all being sullied and
Now they're just
Heavily.
Especially
now that Tyrion is here. He is an expert in sullying.
So Dario, showing that he's always wrong. This Dario's always wrong. Says, bet your money on the small man. Tyrion says, yep, good bet. Always bet on the small man. His Dar gets into this whole thing about just talking shit. I mean, this scene's just going back and forth. Hizdar kind of being a dick, Dario and Hizdar going back and forth and having sort of a jealous.
I'm sorry, but you know what I'm getting out of this too? Like, I'm getting like, really, like, yeah, you're a sellsword, yeah, okay, but how many times have you been around a soldier or anybody who was like, I'm the kick-ass warrior of them all. I kill, I burn villages, and like, it seemed a little like, really, like you're boasting this shit. Like, it just seemed like,
Quienes más macho.
yeah.
It seems like he likes to talk a lot more than he maybe is. He's just one of those guys that talks up everything he did. Oh, I went down the street. I got the paper off the side of the street. You should have seen me braving
I was the best paper grabber on the street.
I think he knows Hizdar has nothing compared to what he has to say. So he can throw out petty shit.
So
too.
why even throw it out?
Is a
You
weak,
look weak in
boy.
front of your girl that way.
Agreed. It's quienes más macho.
Claudia
I'm going to
Jacobson
one-up
says-
you.
Claudia Jacobson says the grayscale is on his forearms. His sleeves go all the way to his hands. He was fully covered. Drogon's like a teenage age right now, says Hajar. Tara says, I don't usually laugh at beheadings, but this one was hilarious. There's always been enough deaths in the world for my taste. I can do without
Never enough dragon death.
my leisure time, says rock biologist, what Tyrion says here. Tyrion's the only cool thing in this scene, as I mean Dany's kind of not bad in the scene, like rolling her eyes at Dario and Hizdar going back and forth. But
yeah,
Dario's
she
all
seems
jealous.
to be eating up Dario and rolling her eyes at Hizdar.
Exactly.
Yes.
And he's going on about Dario's going on about his speed and his dagger and how everyone and guys like you, Hizdar, probably always doubted me and I'd always win. I could rest easy. As the small guys always win. You can just see Tyrion's just uncomfortable.
Tyrion, yeah, he thinks they're both fucking dicks. He really he thinks they're both full of shit, which is what I was thinking too.
He's seeing other examples of what his family epitomized. Pettiness.
Like, and at this point,
in
really,
all its forms.
at this point, he hasn't had the conversation with Dany. Like, that everybody in there is actually still a slave.
Stacey,
You know this, right, Dany? Like, this isn't like these are free men here to conquer and win trophies. I was a fucking slave when I ran out there. Did
Well,
you not
she's
see the
queen.
shackles on my fucking arms?
She has a heavy schedule. Maybe she hasn't
Still,
gotten
he's her
to-
advisor. He's sitting next to
I
her in the fucking
know.
games, 2 seats away.
People are
Obviously,
always
he's had
awesome
more
at
contact with her.
prioritizing.
Jorah had to fight his way all the way back to the fucking place.
Yeah, she doesn't understand prioritizing.
PVE 1010 says he touched her approximately 5.5 times. SM Down says Dario has a Darth Rake sword, presumably
You get a 0.5.
killing one, so he's a good fighter. Stacey E says, I think Hizdar was behind the entire thing, and then they killed him to cover it up.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Yes, he looked guilty. He I was just making sure everything was all set.
He at least knew about it. He just didn't know that he was going to die in the process. He may have even known that they were going to kill the queen and hoped for it because then he could have power.
Right. Wouldn't that kind of make him king?
A couple of people are also
but-
speculating that maybe Dario is behind all the harpy stuff. So I just wanted to put that out there. A couple of people are suggesting that in the chat.
A sellsword is always
No,
a
he
sellsword.
then kills her. He turns around and fucking slashes her in half. Game over.
Unless he has a long con going on for some reason.
Yeah. They were in pretty dire straits until Drogon came along.
Yes.
So Hizdar says
If he had turned, that it would have been down there on the sand, and he would have taken Jorah. They would have started fighting, and it would have given all those harpies time to get in and fucking slaughter Missandei and Tyrion. And
Hizdar isn't
once he came face to face with Jorah, and they both had that moment, like,
Are we
we'll
fighting,
kill each
or-
other later, but right now it's about her. Then you kind of knew that he wasn't the traitor.
right. If she doesn't stay alive, neither of us gets her.
You guys in the chat are cracking my. Hizdar was too late for the flash mob.
He wasn't up on his choreography.
His dar was collateral damage. He gave her the clap too. That's how Danny got the clap.
Yes.
And there are a lot of sons. Maybe they didn't all know hands off his dar.
Well,
And
they
maybe
may not
some
have
of them are like,
cared.
fuck him. I had bad business dealings with him. And they're like, fuck that whole family. Fuck them all. Like,
I imagine they just didn't care. It
good
wasn't
night,
planned,
Apulia.
but if he gets killed, whatever.
Have a good night, Apulia. Talk to you later. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat.
Who's leaving?
Apulia's leaving. Have a good night. Sleep well.
Oh,
So
we love you and thank you.
His dar says, Tyrion goes into that thing that someone said in the chat earlier. He says, I've seen enough death in real life. I don't want to see it in my leisure time. His dar says, well, violence leads to change, no doubt. Tyrion says, well, that's easy to say when it's worked out in your favor. His dar says, wait, I wasn't talking about me. I'm talking about necessary conditions for greatness. Danny says, what? It kind of just goes, what the fuck's going on over there? What the hell are you talking about? And these fights are for a greater good. And he says, yes, it's for a greater good of the greater city of Meereen. Meereen's been around before us, will be here after us. And we're honoring Meereen by doing this. To which Tyrion responds, my dad would like you. Because that's something that...
which means I want you dead.
Huge insult. I love Tyrion.
Love him.
I love him. He elevates every scene.
Giant lion
he can
of
have
Lannister.
2 words, but just his presence and the face he gives. Woo!
DB says, rewatching as we speak, it's actually on this scene right now. Great timing. Great fucking timing.
Oh, how correct are we?
The triggerman says Dario is getting some booty. He's not giving that shit up. And Auto Matrix says Tyrion needs a drink.
He does, Otto. He really
at
does.
Least.
And no, Bruce, you're absolutely right. Danny will never marry Dario. There could never be a marriage there.
No.
And why would he want to really marry her? He's
their relationship is based
dar.
on lust.
And that's
not
just
love.
it too. Like, come on, like he's married. Like, you got to talk shit to this guy. You're fucking his wife. Like, you're standing behind him. Come on, like you don't need to talk shit. You look like a penis.
Benjamin wants to add, imagine the terror if all 3 dragons were together in that arena.
Shit! I was so hoping. I was screaming it when Drogon showed up.
And I call bullshit that any of those people didn't run immediately. That they were still there to throw fucking spears at the dragon. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, sure. I want this bitch dead, but I'll fight her again tomorrow. I'm fucking out. I ain't getting burnt. I ain't getting eaten alive by this fucking dragon.
No.
Are you kidding me?
I just hope this inspires her to release his brother and sister. If they were there, there wouldn't have been any chance of Drogon being in danger. They would have taken all of those people out. She needs to be a good mother. Take the example from Drogon and set her family free.
And for all those people who are wondering, last time the dragon fucking showed up when they started rioting outside when she was in distress. She was in distress again. Drogon came like that.
He loves his mama.
He knew it.
So we got a text from Boston. Shireen got grayscale from a doll as a child. So how is it that Danny wouldn't get it from Jorah by just touching him?
Well, here's the thing. It's speculation on Stannis' part that it came from a doll. You don't really know exactly how she got it, and it's caught in other ways aside from touch as well. So that's not the only way you can get it, but maybe that's one of the ways by touching the scales.
Well, I mean, if the grayscale patches are what's infectious, you rub the doll on those.
Stacy says,
if they're seepy and juicy, then
gross.
Any touch can do bad shit.
Stacy says no arrows, no crossbows, but we just happen to have a bunch of spears laying around.
Yeah, doesn't everyone?
They're common people that can't fight unsullied. So if they're gonna run, that would have been the time. Yeah, when the dragon came out, that definitely would have been the time. So as the next 2 fighters let's get to it. As the next 2 fighters enter, Danny says you're great to his daughter. Your great city will return to dirt one day. And he turns to her and goes, at your command. And she says, yeah, if I choose. And I just wrote nice relationship.
Yeah.
It's
and
completely
she's
bullshit.
Right. She's right.
Like the one thing I kind of I said before, I was glad it was kind of her terms, and she was the one that pushed for this marriage. And like, I'm gonna go back and say I like the way it was done in the book, and that he was begging her, "You need to marry me. You need to settle the city. This will bring everybody to peace. You just got to marry me, marry me, marry me." Like it just maybe I don't know. I didn't like that. I don't like this guy then. I don't like the guy now. I'm glad he's fucking dead. Good written piece of shit.
Very glad he's dead. Agree on that.
I got a question, Phil. What happens when the White Walkers get past the wall to all the places that people haven't been burning the fucking bodies?
Yep.
It's gonna get dangerous. It's gonna get.
Can they infect already dead bodies?
Yes. They can rise any dead.
The dead are their domain. Like
long dead bodies.
Go. The deader, the better.
Because I imagine they rot as they march.
But as long as skeletons were up and going, they
rot as they march, or they rot as they are.
It might have been.
I mean, zombies.
It might have been Red Team Reviews that did a really good video on that about and a couple of other people that have talked about that. The way that they're obviously being brought back to dead, not because of some infection that's turning them into zombies. They're being brought back by White Walker magic. So there's a force that binds them. So that way, even if the bones are kind of dissolved, they can still bring back people. Pretty much.
And the magic that brought them alive wasn't a lot like when they tried to run after Bronn and the weird children that couldn't throw of the forest. It pops, the skeletons pop when they go into the trap last season. Right. What did I say?
Bran.
It's like different. It's been a while since we talked about Bran. So Tyrion says in response to his daughter's whole thing here, says, you're very eloquent, but that doesn't always mean you're right. In my experience, eloquent men are just as right as imbeciles most of the time. Fucking Tyrion.
Statistically, they're equal.
And we're distracted in the scene by Daenerys' eyes focusing on Jorah.
Well, how true is that for Tyrion? Tyrion's a fucking eloquent man. Very eloquent man. The spider, very eloquent, knows how to weave some fucking words. Even Peter Baelish. So, and none of those three are imbeciles at all. Nope. Not even close. And those are like the best weavers of words that we've seen on this show.
Absolutely. So we're distracted by Daenerys' eyes focusing on Jorah, who is speaking Valyrian out there and kind of doing the whole presenting to the queen stuff. And Daenerys' eyes start focusing in on him as he's saying, I'm fighting for the glorious queen. Yeah. Daario and Tyrion look on, mouth wide open. Yep. Daenerys is sort of just giving this fucking A. Why don't you just die? Get the fucking picture.
Well, her face went through quite the transition because you saw it's him at first, and then it transitioned into, it's him.
Yep.
Oh, it's him.
It's him again.
Like there was still some caring in there impulsively.
Yep.
And then when she thought about it, she realized, betrayer. Oh yeah, I hate this guy. It was an interesting transition facially.
Yeah, it definitely was. She was definitely thrown back. She thought she was done. How dare this motherfucker? Like, yeah, you don't have to, like Tyrion, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. No, yeah, you do have to do this. You have to clap your hands. You have to start the fight. This guy has been told, get the fuck away from me. I don't want to see you. You are never going to get a piece of this. And he keeps coming back. He's a fucking stalker of the 9th degree.
And she loves him still.
Never gonna get
it. In her own way.
Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it.
Never gonna get it. Sorry, guys. I got disconnected for a second, but I'm back. Never gonna get it. He's never gonna get it.
I hope not, anyway. He doesn't deserve it.
He's infected. Getting it would be a very dangerous proposition for her.
Very, very good point. Very good point. So
he's got it. He's infected.
He needs the virus. An arm condom. A patch condom.
So Daario,
a mortar condom.
Yeah.
He's a stone man now.
Well, but if you're only infected by those patches.
It's something fucked up.
Maybe. So we're distracted by Daenerys' eyes in this situation as she just looks mouth wide open. She's sad, and Hizdar says, "Your Grace," to kind of just try to break up the moment as they just Dario turns to him in the best line delivery of the night. I got to say, Dario hit this line right. Shut your mouth.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Important shit's going on here. Shut up.
Adults are talking, buddy. Get the fuck out of the room. Get that hat off the bed. Get that fucking hat off the bed. So
how many times do I gotta say no hats on the goddamn bed?
So as she claps, the fight starts, and you could just tell this kind of puts Tyrion on tilt a little bit too.
Yes,
and
he was concerned for Jorah.
Yep, and Jorah does pretty. I mean, he ends up doing all right, but he's getting his ass handed to him for a while in this fight.
That made me wonder too. Like, are symptoms of this disease? Is he weakened? By it?
No. I think it's just in this situation. He wins. He does. Yes, I don't think he's weakened by the grayscale at this point.
At one point, he wins by chance, though, because that guy spears the dude that's about to sword him.
Right. And how much do you get weakened by this disease? Look at the final result.
No, this disease. I can start answering some of the facts about this. It can take years and years for this to actually start affecting him. The disease had nothing to do with the way him getting his butt kicked. He was just fighting a lot of men in a coliseum that are brawler types, and he's a knight when it comes down to it. He held his own, but it's going to be a tough fight for him.
I think he was kind of giving up too. Like, he was kind of saying, "Look, Queen, I'm going to die for you. Is this what you want?" He might have been able to get out of that. And that motherfucker, he pulled off the stupid shit that. How many times do we got to say it? You fucking assholes! Just kill him. Kill him. Don't. What are you waiting for? Put the fucking spear through this prick's fucking heart. Look what happened to you. Look what happened to you, you stupid fuck. Don't you watch TV? Haven't you ever seen an episode of any fucking thing with a villain in it? Fucking put the spear through him, or you get fucking killed from somebody behind you.
Yeah, and maybe that was Jorah's agenda to test her, because she was very emotive.
We gotta say maybe thank you to
looking for what
Ladif, who's been watching the show for a while and just sub. Thank you so much, Ladif, for welcome to our community. So glad to have you. Thanks so much for the sub. And if anyone's watching and enjoying what you're watching right now and hasn't already, please hit that subscribe button or hit the like button too. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much for all the fucking support, guys.
Thank you.
So as Jorah, he's doing okay, but he gets taken down to the ground. He's getting his ass kicked. He's getting in some wins. He kills one guy, and Dany just keeps giving him dead face eyes and looking down.
He does keep checking her. So maybe he's testing the boundaries. Like, should I just die, or does she care anymore?
He eventually has a sword battle with this other guy that seems to go victorious in the first round, as we see this third battle going on in the background with this guy with a mask. But we have a sword battle between the two of these dudes. And this guy's kind of kicking Jorah's ass. He's getting beat. Tension is high. The crowd's loving it. Jorah gets his arm hacked at a little bit at one point. Here, I just wanted to point out that he does get his arm in I think it's where the grayscale is, got chopped a little bit. But he gets thrown down to the ground, and he's about to die, and he looks to Daenerys for some mercy. Tyrion turns to her and says, "You can end this." Hizdar says, "No, you can't." And the guy's about to kill Jorah gets stabbed in the back of the head by the man in the black mask.
Well, and maybe if she did end it right then and there, if she did end it right then and there, that would have been a reason for the Harpies to attack.
Yes.
Would it not have?
I think they were going to attack no matter what.
Well, yes, they were. So maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was, making sure everything was in place, like, meaning that they're not going to try to fucking kill you in 2 minutes.
No, I think that
she's doing everything you guys wanted. She's trying to fit in. She's trying to.
Wait, who? Jorah?
Well, no, Dany, by not stopping it.
No, I know. Who's thinking this?
See, I wrote that Daenerys almost had she was thinking that someone else was going to do her dirty work here. In a little bit, okay, let him die.
Yeah, I don't have to execute him.
Right, I think so too.
Let him die in front of me. He's going to get some joy out of dying in front of me. Let him die. I think part of her expression was that I don't like this, but I kept warning this guy, if this is what making him happy, I guess I'll do it.
Right.
I don't want to kill you.
That's exactly how it kind of felt to me too.
Don't make me kill you.
And the fight continues as Jorah's it's a good fight between the two of them, but Jorah's kind of getting his butt kicked as he eventually does this like pretty cool roll move and gets the blow, the killing blow inside the knife.
How do you not see that coming?
Yeah. I know. A 65-year-old man's doing the roll move. He's like, I'm like, stab him.
Oh, you died.
Yeah, well, the last couple of guys that survived were very showy.
Yeah.
They were very flourishy, but they didn't follow through.
No follow through.
There's never any follow through in this world. Never any follow through. So eventually, Jorah kind of presents himself to Daenerys as she kind of gives the crowd boos a little bit as Daenerys looks on. Jorah takes one of the spears and throws the spear all the way up to the press box where Daenerys and the crew are hanging out, and it kills a harpy that's sneaking up behind Daenerys.
Saves her life.
Yeah, Bruce, I got to agree with you too. Jorah was badass with the knife. To be able to block what he blocked with that knife, and disarm someone with that knife, it was pretty badass.
Yeah,
and
he was very badass.
That's usually like
like
the villains thing. They have a knife up the sleeve. That's what like Jaime used that back in season 1 when he fucked over Ned Stark's boy outside Peter Baelish's brothel, like the knife in the sleeve, the secret dagger and shit. No, but Jorah used it as well. And
Jorah's kind of skirted the line between bad guy and good guy,
right.
So he's learned his lesson.
Interesting question comment I want to say from Boris. Welcome, Boris. I don't see the dragon being as much of a threat as it's built up to be. If a few masked gimps can hurt it as bad as they did, what would a full army do? Maybe when it's bigger, it could cause some problems.
That was a contained arena with more than a few masked gimps.
I don't think it was really hurt either.
I think he was hurting, but he wouldn't have stopped.
And you got to figure that hopefully in that kind of scenario, you have his two brothers laying firebombs on either side.
Seriously, Mama, let them go.
Right, there's got to be some sort of signal to release the dragons, you know?
Jorah, Bill says, Jorah, do a barrel roll.
And they're still young. He's only an adolescent. He still has growing to do.
Right.
Tiger roll.
When you look at some of the skulls from season 1 when Arya runs by them that used to be in the Iron Throne room in the hall there at the Red Keep, those were huge ass fucking skulls.
Yeah.
This dragon, if it's still only like a year or two old, maybe it's baby. Maybe they don't get full fucking size for a couple of years. Who knows?
No.
Like this shit, those skulls were massive.
Yeah, he has a lot of growing to do.
10 times the size of him.
Developing to do. He's just at the most an adolescent dragon.
Yeah.
She needs to let his brother and sister go.
Right, Boris. Borislav. I think those dragons are going to get bigger. I don't think he was really too hurt by those spears. She pulled it out no problem. How deep could it have been?
Well, I think of him as kind of berserker. They're hurt by the spears, but in that moment they're not feeling shit.
Right.
They have to be killed to drop.
Right. And if they don't die, they're not going to die.
Yeah.
Some shit like that anyway. That's my feeling on it.
So Daria tries to fight off the harpies that come for her. The Unsullied are getting killed left and right. Hizdahr tries to lead them out, and I wrote he's leading them into a trap. It's a trap, but he stabbed to death very quickly. So Jorah is suddenly up there and face to face with Dany, and Dany's forced to let him help. And I wrote in capital letters in my notes, he grabbed her with his hand.
Yes!
Several times.
Oh, I think we all noticed that.
We've talked about that at length, though, so we'll just leave that. We'll leave that matzo ball out there. So she looks back at Hizdahr dying on the ground or all dead as Tyrion steps up to fucking killer imp mode as he kills a harpy to save the Sunday.
Oh, right. Tyrion.
Slices his throat.
Reminded me of the last time. It reminded me of him saving Catelyn's life in season 1 also.
Yes.
Like it reminded me of him fighting on the Black. It reminded me of book passages that we miss out on.
It reminded me of showing that. They've showed that a lot more a few times this season, and I like that they're showing that he can hold his own.
Yes, he did not lie to that fucking.
That he's a great warrior.
Yes.
Correct. When he whipped that slave, he was. Yeah. For that matter, fuck you, Danny. Pick up a fucking weapon. Don't just grab Melisandre's fucking hand and
what
sit
are they,
there.
Thelma and Louise? Are they gonna jump onto the Grand Canyon like that or something?
Protect yourself. Protect yourself. You are your own best defense, bitch. Fucking do something. Show them that you're gonna fight too. That they're not just dying for you. That you would die for them. Like
That's
fucking
what she
pick
was
up
about
some.
to do.
Oh,
I don't see anything cowardly about accepting death.
I hear you.
That most people are afraid of.
I hear you there. She felt like she did what she could there, which was called Drogo.
She could have done more. No, she called Drogo. Okay, great. Yes. Okay, yes. But what she could have done more, pick up a fucking weapon. Yeah, okay, there is honor in accepting death at some point, but there's also more honor in saying, fuck you. What do we say to death, Phil? What do we say to death?
Not today, buddy. Not today. Rock Biologist says Tyrion kill count 3. Yep, that's fucking 3 for Tyrion tonight.
No, I think that's more. If you count the Blackwater, I'm sure there's more than
tonight.
Tonight kill count 3. Yes, tonight.
Tonight 3.
Tonight.
Yeah, because there's at least 2 the night he kills his dad.
Eric Flores says Dany should have a dagger with her or something. Dr. Pavel says expecting Dany to do something is like expecting Cersei to stop drinking.
Yep.
DB says when Drogon showed up, I literally was like jumping up and down on my couch with so much joy. Rock Biologist says, Masande, I want to keep going, Thelma. Tara, tears came to my eye when Tyrion saved Masande. DB, everyone says not, and Bill says not today. Jonathan says retweet Dany to fight like expecting Cersei to stop drinking. Yeah, everyone retweet that. Tavia Major says, everything's scrolling up. Who or how are they going to release the other 2 dragons? It's so dark. They're being kept. Dany got scared when they breathed fire at her for chaining them up in the first place. Someone needs to let them out. Pete Live Music says, Joe's officially turned into Les Grossman, Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder.
Where's the boom operator? Punch him in the fucking face.
Wait, so I again want to speak up in defense of Dany.
Oh, I love it.
She has never been taught to do any of the things that people are expecting her to do, including be the queen and ruler that she has stepped into being. She has never been taught to fight. She was sold and traded throughout.
Oh, we got a call, guys.
I don't care.
Have a telephone.
Have you ever been taught to fight? Okay.
Not how to actually fight.
Hello, caller. What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, buddy?
Joy has earned forgiveness. And one question.
Yep.
Better battle, this one with the dragon or last week?
Last week.
Where Jon Snow was or whatever, fighting the White Walkers.
Okay, thank you, my friend.
I was more moved.
I think I agree with you that I think Jorah got some. He deserved her bringing him back into the.
Yes, absolutely. Get that motherfucker back in the fold. Yes. He saved her life. He escorted her off the platform down into the arena where Drogo could finally then save her. Yes, he's absolutely earned his place back in the fold.
Yes.
But no, as far as I think I agree with Katie. I was a little more moved when Drogon showed up, and I was very excited. There was especially one point when he was breathing through
he was breathing on her.
His neck. You could see his fucking neck shivering, like all the scales moving. It was very impressive. But I gotta say, that 20-minute fucking fight scene last week.
Oh, it was incredible.
Like, Joe was on the floor the whole time.
We're going to talk a little bit more because we got some voicemails about last week. So we'll talk a little bit more about last week at the end. What'd you want to say, Katie?
Well, I just wanted to say I was more awed by last week's battle.
Yes.
But I was more emotionally moved.
Do you know what
by the dragon appearing?
You know what last week's battle made me want to say?
What's that?
Good Lord, good Lord, good Lord.
Good
Lord. Thank you, Emily.
Good Lord.
That's what it made me want to say. So,
Emily, we love you, Emily. I say that in my daily life now. Good Lord, good Lord, good Lord. Because it just epitomizes so much of my stress.
Oh yes.
So they head out, and it's a serious bloodbath as Jorah leads them down into a tunnel that's cut off by some harpies, and Jorah kills a harpy as they head in. And our Star Wars team head off the Attack of the Clones. No, I'm kidding. They head across the pit.
They did have some red shirts with them.
They did have some red shirts. But we had our A team that we knew no one from the A team was going to get hurt. And suddenly they're surrounded by hundreds of harpies who are getting ready to go in for the kill. And I'm like, it's done. They're going, it's over.
Oh,
Dany's
harpies
dead.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, more and more.
As she's scared, the Unsullied are trying to fight, but they just
That
down.
shocked me. All those faces, I was shocked.
Yes, yeah. They just started rising from everywhere and coming out of everywhere.
And then we see Tyrion killing people, Jorah's killing people, Dario's killing people. Dany's so scared, but she's just sitting there being, I'll give her defense. She was being very brave in this moment. She wasn't running. She wasn't cowering.
She was standing strong.
Standing
Yes.
and then again, like Thelma and Louise grab Missandei's hand. This is goodbye, Thelma. Every title's not getting to us. And they close their eyes and you hear it.
Everyone hears it. Not just you. Everybody. Every single head in that
It
fucking
echoes.
stadium turned.
Yes.
On his fucking way.
About time, too. He was kind of late.
Yeah,
to the
a
show.
little late. Well, and how fast and far did he have to fly?
I was wondering, like, if she's calling for him in her mind or her emotions or however he senses that she's in trouble. What if he's on the other side of whatever planet?
Like,
they're
yeah,
on?
all the way. Like, for example, let's say, like, take a look at the map behind me here for a second. This is where we last saw Drogon in Valyria with
Mhm.
Jorah and Tyrion on their boat, right around here in the testicles on the map. Okay, we're up in Meereen now, all the way over
Yeah.
here. That's a good distance away.
A good flight.
A good flight. So who the fuck knows where this dragon was, how long he's been close for, when he decided to come back, like how fast he had and far he had to fly to get there is what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like when she sends out the EBGB vibes, was he on his way back the whole time? Did he sense this way ahead of time and he was en route beforehand?
Like he sniffed out Jorah's stone virus attempt assassination.
How
from-
much danger and distress does she have to be in for him to sense it?
Right.
And how far away can he sense it from?
So
Ooh.
Questions abound with this magic shit.
Ooh.
George, you gotta answer some questions, you freaky fuck.
Semantics are important.
you got some splaining to do.
Stop explaining the Lucy.
So fucking Drogon, yes, it's fucking fire time as he heads and it's time to roost some harpies as he comes in. Fucking hell, he lands down. She smiles like, holy shit, it worked.
Oh, so happy.
As he just starts burning the fuck out of people. And I just, more than anything in this scene,
Oh, first thing he does is bites one in half.
Yeah, bites one in
Someone
half.
makes a move. And he just
That's my
bites
mama.
him right in half, picks him up and shakes him like a kitty playing with a mouse. That was beautiful.
so
That was very beautiful.
I love Tyrion in this scene. He's just like, what the fuck is going
Yeah.
on? This is real. This is really happening. Even though he saw the dragon in the sky, seeing it up close is something
Oh,
different.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
you ever get used to seeing
Because
a
now
dragon?
you know it's not just dragons are back in the world. Now Tyrion knows for sure exactly what Jorah was saying
Yep.
about walking out of that fire with dragons on her and shit. Like
She
like
is the
she
mother
is
of
the
fucking
this
dragons.
is her child. Like
Yeah.
he showed up when she was in trouble. She walked right up to him, tried to like he had spears sticking out of him. He was trying to fend off people from killing her and killing him, and he still takes the time to say, "I love you, Mom," which I'm like, come on, Danny, what the fuck are
Yeah.
you doing? Say hi after he's done eating your fucking enemies. Don't
But-
distract him. Let him keep rampaging.
I just want to say it's interesting that they did that thing with him breathing on her that way.
Yes,
That's
exhaling
a
big time.
very-
Ah!
That
Oh,
takes a
so
cue
nice.
from the horse world.
And I
Horses,
also
when they meet
listen to
each
this.
other, they share breath in a way of greeting each other and saying, I'm safe, I love you, we can be friends, let's hang out. They breathe in each other's nostrils like that.
This is from the animal like that, and that I thought that was brilliant. If that especially is something that they were thinking, like that's not like a I'm gonna scare you, that's a greeting, that's a hello.
Action.
There wasn't fire. Like if it was like I'm trying to scare you, or I'm afraid of you, or I want to attack you, or I'm trying to scare you, it would have been fire straight up.
We have another call. Let's take this call. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hey, Phil, how's it going?
Going well. How about yourself?
Hey, this is Bill. I don't know if
Hey, Bill.
Bill Sotheby.
Oh, Bill.
Bill Sotheby.
Oh, well, welcome, dude.
Old friend.
I got like kind of a question and a prediction, and it won't be. I'll avoid spoiling.
Please
the actual
do.
Plot
Oh,
coming up. But do you think that they might take the Sand Snake and put them into Quentin Martell's stories from the plot he does next season?
I definitely think that they're going to be mixing all of that up in together and connect that stuff. I do think that's going to happen. And I also think, without getting too far into it, they're going to be combining a lot of the Dorne stuff with Varys and Illario's stuff and kind of combine that all into one big hodgepodge of a plan, I think.
Yeah. I would love to see that because I think Varys and
with
Dario.
The scene, I got a bottle of Dornish Red and a bag of High Garden Green to cope with.
Nice.
We need it. We need it after that.
Emily's with you too, Bill.
I think
Good
that's
Lord, good
Thank
Lord,
you, buddy.
good
Thank you for
Lord.
calling in. Talk to you later, Bill. Oh, gosh. I agree with it.
Yes. I think Varys and Dr. Bashir would have great chemistry with each other. I would love
gotta
to
say
see an
that,
exchange
too.
between them.
A lot of marijuana.
Yes, I do.
I hope I'm not one out there. I don't get down. Because I love weed and I feel like y'all do too.
Yes, I do too. I'm not afraid to say it, goddammit. I do too, Emily. I love it.
Bill and Emily going to be getting together in High Garden, somewhere
High
between
Garden
High Garden and
Greens.
Dorne.
Hanging
Yeah.
out, guys.
If you'll
Thank you
excuse
so
me
much,
here for a
guys.
moment, they're going to meet right here in the mountains, probably maybe in the High Tower or something, right on the way through.
I'll go for the best.
At
man.
Sky Reach, yeah, it's Sky Reach.
God, I love you
I'm
guys.
sure there's a good.
Meet up at Sky Reach and reach for the stars, baby. We love you both.
I gotta say I love you guys so much in the chat and calling.
Absolutely, all of you,
So-
every single one of you.
So here we go. So roasted time is Danny sees, and he takes a spear, but they keep throwing spears at him as Danny sees he's dangerous. She calls him and walks towards him, and she pulls the spear out as he gets in her face, and then does the thing Katie was talking about, the horse. And she touches him. As I think it's really cool that they did this scene where in a lot of movies and TV shows, they'll have this moment last like for 3 or 4 minutes of like this not a romantic, but this like slow moment of the two of them looking at each other and all that sort of stuff. But they didn't do it for too long. They had another spear come in almost right away.
Yeah, they were shredding his wings.
Right, you're in
and
the middle
hitting
of
him in
being
the
attacked. They're going to
spine.
try to kill the dragon too.
Yeah.
And then keep the other 2 dragons that you got locked up.
Yep. Which she needs to release.
So Jorah looks on, and as she sort of starts realizing that Drogon's in danger. I don't think he's been told. I think he'd peace out if he knew he was in complete danger. He would have fought for her as long as she wanted him to.
I think he would have died for her.
I think he would have died for her
He
as
would
well.
have died for her too.
And that's what she had. Like, he came in to take care of her and protect her, but he's still young. He's impulsive. She's mama. She had to get him out of this.
And that's why she flew away on him.
Yes.
Absolutely, because she has to protect him as well, because he would have laid down his life. But what's that saying? So she's protecting the dragon, but she's not protecting all the other people that are being slaughtered in that area right then and there.
No, and
She
I
needs
got
to
she's done
fly
what she
that
could.
dragon around this. She needs.
Well, she doesn't know the complete. If she has that connection, that integral
Where's
connection.
the kid from
with
How
the
to Train Your Dragon?
But yeah, exactly. She has no idea how to actually control him, tell him what she wants.
We all hope Tyrion
She's
has
working
read that
on
book.
instinct right now.
My big question though is after she flies. So she climbs up on the dragon. She flies off on the dragon, and we get a kind of cool, as Katie mentioned earlier in the show, a never-ending story sort of feel about the scene.
I wanted to scream
Oh,
Atreyu.
Falcor.
Where we get the
Atreyu!
and then everybody in the look, and then we get the view of the whole team on the floor: Jorah, Dario, Missandei, and Tyrion.
Oh,
Especially
I wanted to
Tyrion's
say-
face What was that,
Yeah.
Katie?
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's
I
okay.
just wanted to say, Joe pointed this out while we were watching it, and I noticed it too. Drogon was very spiky. He was
What did
thorny,
she sit on?
and she climbed right on.
It looked like she was riding side saddle too when they were actually flying away. So she was kind of just like holding on.
Oh, that seems so unsafe.
She's the new Queen of Thorns. Dun dun.
Yeah. Dude.
Oh, I'm kidding. That was horrible. That's another time. That's another
So
title.
horrible, Bill.
That's horrible. Wait.
I don't think it was. I much like
works.
Danny. I
It
kind of
works.
liked it. It works.
So, but my big question there is, okay, because Daenerys flew off on a dragon, the Harpies are going to not try to kill Tyrion, Jorah, and Dario and Missandei. They're just going to stop.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm wondering about that. They may be so odd that she could actually ride the dragon.
Right, that they drink the Kool-Aid suddenly. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
Misa.
They may have thought that because she's been searching for her dragon and she locked the other two up. So they all may have stopped believing that she was the mother of dragons. Yeah, dragons hatched in her presence, blah, 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 but they don't like her anymore. She locked two up and one of them abandoned her. So they may have had no faith in the fact that she had a connection to the dragons
Right.
until that moment.
This really brings back to everybody's mind that witnesses this, that she is the mother of dragons, that
Yeah.
she has dragons, that they are there, they are going to kill you.
It doesn't take long for people to decide that a dramatic story is just a myth.
We have to thank our warging
That's true. Good point,
specialist,
Katie.
our friend
Next
Neat
100.
100
Niche.
says, ooh, thoughts on tonight's episode. Ooh, Meereen Trent likes him young. He should look to Davos and learn what a healthy relationship with a young girl can be like. Sorry, could have been. Sorry, could have been.
Could have
Burn in hell, Stannis.
Oh,
One true king or whatever. I hope Brienne gets you good. Wait up.
now, come on.
Brienne!
Who's not on Brienne's side? Go kill that motherfucker, Brienne. Do us a favor and fucking kill that
Yes.
motherfucker. You deserve a win.
And Ren,
You deserve
I want to
that
see
win.
Brienne just go on a rampage.
Oh, yeah.
Kill all
Brienne
those
takes over
psychotic
the
motherfuckers.
North.
We need Brienne to do some serious action next week. And also, way to offer your Khaleesi a grayscale-ridden helping hand, Jorah. And Tyrion better get a saddle making really soon because Drogon's spines sure do look uncomfortable. Love you all. Keep warging. Niche 100. Thank you, bud.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Niche.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you for teaching me how to warg. I
It's
am
about
a
warg.
young warger, and I am learning, and you helped me so much. Thank you.
Stacey E says the Harpies are mass cowards. Bad
Yes.
fighters and only act tough in numbers. Someone spoiled something from Boris says, Bill, spoiler alert, Martin dies before he writes book 14. He dies in the toilet while taking a poop. Book
Oh,
14, I'm sorry. How
no!
dare you
Join
spoil
them
book
like
14.
other legends such as Bonham and Elvis.
So guys, let's get to a couple of voicemails that we have. First, from our very good friend Alexia. Alexia, thank you so much for calling in. I kind of combined a couple of her messages into one, so this is a few different messages. So let's hear from Alexia here.
Hi, Bill, Joe, Katie Crow / Katie Wolf. I watch you guys'
Katie
YouTube
Warg.
channel. I absolutely love the Game of Thrones. I don't really have a question, but I did want to say that
She has a
I'm
question
super
later.
excited to see that Jon may have something super special about him. I felt like he got
Oh,
a
he
lot
does.
you, and that he has a great quality of leadership
Yes.
in his blood. I was really, really, really happy to see that he's got
Yeah.
something special going on, and that maybe his future doesn't stop at the Night's Watch. Maybe
Oh,
he'll
I hope not.
greater. And I'm super thrilled to see that Cersei gets what was coming from
Oh
her.
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
was like screaming. I was so happy she got thrown in jail.
So wonderful.
People finally see that she's the biggest fraud
Oh,
of all, and I hope that they
finally.
really
Yes.
stick it to her. This is questions for episode
Now
8.
we'll get to the questions in a second. Yes, I definitely think John's special, but we get a couple more questions here about the
it's a
episode.
Friday right now.
And this is something
So,
about what we were talking
I
about
haven't
earlier.
seen episode 9 yet. It hasn't aired yet. And I'm a little behind because I don't watch you guys until like the following morning. But here's my question. I wanted to know what exactly is going on with the Stark siblings. I'm trying to figure out why they're not clamoring to get with each other, like to see each other. And it's like, they're the last bit of family they have left, and it seems like they're not very concerned what's going on in each other's lives. I really haven't heard Sansa mention Arya since Ned died, since the last time they were
any of them
together.
Sansa's.
And I haven't seen Jon mention Arya at all. Kind of, and I can't remember. It's been a while. I have the worst memory ever, but I can't remember whether he mentioned.
Hence
her
our previous
in
conversation about the High Garden.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen him mention anything else about the boys since the last time.
So to answer your question there, I think for the most part that most of the Stark siblings, rather than Jon knowing that Bran's alive and Rickon's alive, and now Sansa knowing that on the show world, I think Arya and Sansa probably assume the other one's dead.
That's the feeling
everybody
I get.
assumes Arya's dead. Nobody has seen her since
I feel like they all kind of just accepted that they may all be dead, so we have to live like that.
Yeah, Arya hasn't been seen or heard from since before Ned lost his head in season 1. Nobody really knows Arya's alive right now except for Brienne and the Brotherhood without banners that's lost out here in this realm.
Oh, sorry,
Well, and Sansa, she never seemed to have much of a mind for Jon Snow anyway. So I don't think it occurred to her to think of him until she saw Theon.
And as far as Bran and Rickon, what are they going to do? They're like 10 and 7 years old and completely at the mercy pretty much of... I mean, Bran made the decision to go up to the tree, way the fuck up here past the wall somewhere. We don't even know where the fuck he is. He's not going to do anything. He's crippled. Hodor's like half dead.
Yeah.
And
people think
Rickon,
they're dead.
He's a little boy, and everybody in the world thinks they're dead. Sansa thinks they're dead until last week. And so there's not much that the Stark siblings can really do to get to each other or help each other, aside from die. And like, really, Sansa comes back and makes herself known or tries to get back. She's in the same fucking pool as Sansa is. And
I also think that Jon doesn't know that Sansa's at Winterfell right now, and Jon doesn't know anything about Arya as well.
No.
See, I think he's... Oh, Jon might not, because he went out to Hardhome.
Arya knew that he was at the wall, though. He's a crow. She knew that.
Yeah, she could have tried to get there.
That.
Initially,
Sansa knew that Jon
at the end of last season, it's worth saying that at the end of last season, Arya tried to go to the wall.
Yes, she did try to get to the wall, and the captain took her to Bravos instead. She was like, I want to go to the wall, and then she gave him the coin. And
Alexa,
she kind of did. He didn't say, I'm not taking you to the wall. He said, okay, you got a cabin. So I think he thought, he'll drop me at the wall, and then he dropped her.
No. He specifically said to her that we're not going up north. We're going to Bravos, and she then gave him the coin. So we have a second half of that question.
Walker was more than just him having a Valyrian steel sword. If there was more to that.
Asking about Jon Snow.
If it was part of his like, spirit.
Something to do with dragon glass and all that stuff. Maybe there's a little more magical power maybe in Jon. Maybe he's got genes that's going to help fight the war.
Wait, you think Jon Snow has something special in his genes? Oh, I bet he does.
Well, of course he does.
Little mini Lord.
Damn. Why do you think he's a celebrity?
White Walker Slayer. I'm not sure. But what do you guys take on that? What do you think? Do you think it's just because he has a Valyrian steel, or is there something a little special about it?
I think there's a little something special about Jon Snow.
I hit the 3-minute period or time lapse or whatever. Let me hurry up and get this question out before it cuts me off again. And when do you think Sansa will start to use her wit to get back at the Boltons? Or to hit them hard with, people killing them and stuff like that. I don't really want
she's biding her time.
But I really want her to start, throwing some of this back at them, some of this mind games that they like to play with her. Yes. I want to throw that back at Ramsay, and I just wanted to know when you guys think that she was going to start doing that. Okay, I need to hurry up before he cuts me off. I love you guys' YouTube channel.
Hey, we
I
love you too.
takes on Game of
Love
Thrones.
you.
Gonna be really sad when the last 2 episodes air. We have nothing else to talk about when it comes
Last
to
episode of what?
But
What?
you guys are awesome. Thanks for all the info. Thanks for all the great videos that you do. And I'm giving you a party. Hey y'all from South Carolina.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
From South
I
Carolina.
love that.
So
I love that Southern drawl.
Oh, me too. Thank you so much, Alexia, for your question.
Thank you.
Do-
Oh, so much to say about them too.
Yeah,
Good
so
question.
What do you guys think?
Well, with the Sansa thing, I think she is biding her time. She is absolutely hoping for revenge, plotting her revenge. She doesn't have anyone to trust right now. She's on her own. So she's learning as much as she can about her captors, her semi-new surroundings, because some of Winterfell was destroyed. I think she's just biding her time.
Started the path. I think she's not.
Yeah, she's headed down. She is now embarking. I think she is about to embark down the path of, say, a young Peter Baelish or even Arya.
Well, I think she's learning her lessons from all of the individuals that have been around her.
Yeah, she's
going to take her own high road of vengeance.
I agree. She is on a path of fucking doom.
I think she's at the point where she would slit someone's throat.
I mean, I also think she has started to do it already at this point, with what she was saying to Ramsay last week. I think full on do it. I think she should be thinking about escape at this point. But once she gets, it's gonna be really interesting to see what they do with Brienne, because they need to do something with Brienne next week. That needs to happen.
Yeah, they can't leave her cliffhanger as like looking at the tower in the middle of a snowstorm.
No, I don't think Sansa's thinking about escape. I think she's coming to terms with the idea that she's gonna die here, and she's gonna take as many of the Boltons as she can with her.
Great point. Yeah, great point, Katie. And guys, I guess we should stop here with an Emily voicemail. New Emily voicemail.
Good Lord.
Remember, guys, this is after last week's episode, so things might have changed.
Oh, good Lord. Hey, y'all.
I love Emily.
I gotta tell you, that was adorable last night. I tell you, I got in on the show. I watched it at my son's house. He was in bed. I sat in front of that television. I got to tell you, I was like Big Joe. I was like, oh, I have never
love you, Emily.
Such good special effects when it comes to the Living Dead.
Amazing. So good.
Almost look like in similar fashion to the Uruk-hai in Fellowship of the Ring. How they were played by real people. I think that's the big difference. It's when they blend elements of CGI in with actual actors.
Yes.
It's so much more organic. It's so much more real. I loved it. I just thought it was one of this show. I think that was the most awesome episode of Game of Thrones I've ever seen.
I agree, Emily.
Certainly that whole scene, that sequence.
Awesome. This show, jeez.
I know.
By the way, Katie, I love. Oh Lord, I love the wolf. That is adorable. You howling, and it's I love my wolf. I love your crow. Now the crow is cute as pie, but I love the wolf. Remind me who that is that sent you wolf, because I'd love to send y'all something. That is adorable. Anyway, so
we'll talk about that at the end.
I love you too, Emily.
Use my clips anytime you want. I was laughing at my ass off. I was hearing my voice sound like a damn fool.
We love you so much.
In no way, shape, or form do you sound like a fool.
The thing coming up with Stannis, and that's what I am so concerned about. And I got a question, Joe. What is the deal with Melisandre wanting to be with Stannis? And we know she's crazy. I guess you can't consider her crazy. She believes in her cause for Rolla and that he is Azor Ahai. But why?
We take it from everyone, Jonathan.
Army going to be more successful there with Melisandre? What magic, specifically, that you know about that you could share? Is pertinent to military movements or engagement?
Good question.
For example, she said, "I've been at the Battle of Blackwater. y'all wouldn't have died. And so what the hell you gonna do, bitch? How you gonna tell?
Yeah. What the
Well,
hell you gonna
here's
do,
the thing.
bitch?
Wait, what? Well, let's let her finish.
Against the Boltons. I'm just curious. What is that about? And I'm scared as hell. By the time you get this, it's gonna be next episode, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, Rams is going on.
Oh, Emily, I can't wait to hear what you have to
It's
say.
just funny to hear
about
this back in time.
Tactical mission to try to knock off Stannis. He ain't gonna get Stannis is my man, and I'm gonna tell you what, Stannis makes me horny.
I so can't wait to hear what she has to say about tonight's episode. Oh, devastation.
Oh, you poor girl. Your phone just got.
We're sorry,
Oh,
Emily.
good luck.
Emily, your
Oh.
man let us down tonight, Emily.
Boy.
Oh shit! I can see why you felt that way before, but now it's
not anymore.
Oh,
And so,
Emily.
as for what magic does she have? Well, we did see the shadow beast that
She
she
has
gave
it.
birth to. And that was pretty powerful shit. That, like, for what it's worth, Renly was calling himself a king, and there were people calling him a king. So that had to be powerful magic. Who knows
fun,
what the
Boris.
fuck she had? She could have
Power
brought
of-
with her to the Blackwater.
She has the power of mind control and hallucination. She is a master of herbs and chemicals.
Right, you
And
saw what you
illusion.
saw when she was talking to Stannis' wife. When she was taking a bath, there was all the potions and pots up on the shelf there, poisons.
She's a
and
trickster.
she is definitely a trickster. Who knows what she had up her sleeve, but she does have some magic too. I mean, that was not. We saw the shadow beast. That we saw it.
It depends
We
on
weren't the only ones that saw that shadow beast.
Yeah,
Brienne
there
saw
are
it.
things you
Catelyn
can
saw
just
it.
touch a person with and they hallucinate. She
Oh.
made Davos hallucinate. Magic all depends on your definition of it.
absolutely.
Chemistry is magic. Science is magic.
So, guys, there's only one more episode next week. Game of Thrones. So we are done. Everybody in the chat room, thank you so much. It's ending too soon. Emily is awesome, says Rock Biologist.
Oh, good lord, good lord, good lord. I love you, Emily.
And
I
to
can't wait
spare
to hear
not
what you have
everybody.
to say about tonight's
You guys in the
episode.
chat room are so fucking awesome. You guys liking the video,
Oh,
sharing the video. Help
To
us out.
spare not, we will be continuing our recaps of season 1 and going into season 2 when we're done
We
with that.
can't resist.
Game of Thrones is not going to be over for us next week if you want to pass through. I also wanted to mention that I'm not good at doing this, but I just wanted to put it out there that in the description of the video below, you will find a link to our Patreon page. If you're at all interested in any of that, you can check out information on that later. Find the link down and below, and you can check that out if you're interested in that sort of situation. But let's get off that. I don't want to talk too much
If that's
about
what
that.
you might be into.
If that's
you
the
know, you and Stu. with
But
the
everybody,
food.
thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Please share your thoughts throughout the week.
Please,
And
you
keep
make
the
the
comments
show.
coming. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Share this video away. We like to thank everybody that helped last week's video go fucking nutty crazy. We're
Thank
so pumped.
you.
Super nutty crazy.
And thanks for all the new subscribers that we have. And hopefully everyone had a good time tonight talking about this episode. We'll be back next week to talk about the season 5 finale of Game of Thrones. Can you believe it, Joe?
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I don't want it to end.
No.
I actually have a shameless plug for myself, Phil.
What's
if
that?
If you're in the area next weekend, the weekend of, or 2 weekends from now, the weekend of the 20th, head out to the Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington, Mass for the
Pop Culture Expo.
the Comic Con, the Northeast Comic Con for the summer. Formerly the Pop Culture Expo. Should be a good time. Adam West will be there. Other stars. And on. It should be fun.
Okay, everybody, we will talk to you again next week, or we'll talk to you throughout the week. Please keep your voicemails coming. Please, now you know we have a call-in line, so you can always call in. I'll have Skype going next week for any international people. At man on Skype if you want to add me. Issuesprogram.com. I got Issues Man on Gmail. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you, Atticus. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Stacey E.
Thank
Thank you so much. Oh, you guys are fucking awesome tonight. Talk to you guys next time. Woo! Have a good one, guys. Good night.
Watch out for the demons. Watch out.
Not try that at home.
Thank you,
Not
everybody.
drink alcohol.
And tell us what episode of the Issues program